position. Ah! These people!
Oh my
Oh.
god. Oh my god. Well, if we haven't tested peaks, that's the test.
Yep.
Oh, we were
I
supposed
think
to do
you're
more
Holy shit.
tests.
No.
Ah,
I think we're
shit.
fine. I think we're
Good,
fine.
good, good.
Ah! Ay, shit.
We haven't done this in a while, so I think our hardware might not be used to it.
I forgot what my actual voice I used for this was. I think I'll go with this one. Woohoo.
Yes, that is what Raffy sounds like.
He's
Welcome
free
again.
domain now.
Welcome to
God
the year of
shot you, dude.
2024.
Their Lord and Savior.
Wow. It's still 2024.
Yeah, dude,
What?
isn't that crazy?
This year has been wild.
How
It's woof.
Migo, it's just January. What?
It's still 2019. I remember Throne of Eldraine.
Yeah, dude.
Oh no!
That was just last
I
year.
remember the
pandemic.
PR.
Oh god.
Oh, dude,
No.
nothing happened. What?
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
Nothing.
There
There's
was
no
no
evidence.
pandemic in
We-
Boston.
anything that happened.
We were in stasis this whole time.
Yeah.
we hit stop recording on the last episode. And nothing happened until this very moment.
Konnichiwa.
Episode
Konnichiwa,
114,
guys.
Nothing happened.
We went to Japan.
We
and
just
that
got
was it.
back from Osaka.
Yeah, just got back from Osaka.
Oh man,
Was that our
What
last
a-
recording?
Yes.
Maybe,
Okay.
yeah. What a
it was so
great
special that we stopped.
dude! It was
Oh,
so
man.
special. What a great cold open. Welcome, everyone, to the Good Trades Brigade, the podcast where we punch each other with stories and everyone takes the damage. This is
Oh.
episode 114. Nothing happened. I'm your host,
Yeah.
Emile, in the morning at night, and with me are the usual suspects. Raffy, introduce yourself.
Do we introduce ourselves? Hello, I'm Raffy. Definitely nothing happened to me as well. 5 seconds before we started, I went, you boy! What year is it?
Oh,
Awoken
man.
from the cryo sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yes.
And joining us as well is Mr. Migoy. Who are you?
Hey, the Bosanian Nightmare is back online.
Oh,
Mhm.
fuck.
Underwear still wet from the cryo sleep. That happens, right?
Yep.
Yep.
We're all wet. We're all very wet.
Baby, stay wet.
Well,
And last but not least, the cheese, the chimp. What's up, my man? Who are
What's
you?
up? Happy to be here. It's been a while since I've been guesting for this show. Kind of chilly evening.
mhm,
Chili.
Yeah, just got out of the cryo sleep, out of the cryo chamber.
mhm, mhm.
So we good.
Oh man.
Everyone
been
take
a
out
while.
your umbilical cord device.
Yeah. I'm just imagining Neo waking up from the Matrix.
Yeah.
I'm Shadow the
That's
Hedgehog
us.
now.
That's a good
Mhm.
that's a good thumbnail for the episode. Wake up.
Oh God. So how's
Well,
everything been, boys? I think first,
Mm. Yeah,
like announcements, house cleaning, channel updates.
yeah.
How's everything been besides nothing happening?
Um, there's a whole lot of nothing that happened. Specifically on the uploads of this
Yeah.
podcast.
Literally
So,
nothing happened for
we we are
a
we
whole
are
year.
we actually really are very sorry about that. We're the idea now is I think we want to get back into the swing of things and kind of and do it right. Do it right, getting back, like have something like super regular.
Yep.
Yeah, to kind of make up for all that stuff.
Yeah, my dudes, I
Mm.
missed you boys. I
Yeah.
miss talking about our weeks.
That's
I miss
awesome.
talking about media.
Yeah.
I miss the people who listen.
Mhm.
Get ready for 8 hours of talking about a year. this
Yo,
episode.
you better cue it up.
The biggest episode yet.
Yeah,
What's your
Six.
years,
it's already
boys?
a month worth of
I, ho-
content.
I hope you have 6 gigs on your phone, like to download this one.
On your favorite podcatcher app.
It's
Let's
gonna
go.
be a while.
Uh-huh.
Stay a while.
There's a lot to talk about, man.
Mhm.
Like I feel like we haven't done this.
Yeah.
Like, how long has it actually been? I have no idea.
Literally a year.
A year.
Be a year.
No, I'm not
September.
even joking. This is
Mhm.
like, I think the last episode we talked
September
about
1.
our the Japan
Japan?
The
vacation,
Japan's Anjin sama. When did you get here?
the Japan's vacation.
You've won so many
We've been to
awards.
the land of barbarians, savages.
I am in the
Yeah.
land of Japan.
Yeah, we've been to the Japans last year. That's the that's the last episode we recorded.
Uh-huh.
And then yeah, we went radio silent.
Mhm.
Went to the cryo sleep. Everything went dark,
Mhm.
and now we've seen the sun for the first time since
Mhm.
a year.
God.
Yeah,
Japan
God.
is so technologically advanced that we brought home cryopods
Mhm.
to
Yeah,
sleep
dude.
in.
yeah. That kind of
But yeah.
blows because I could have like brought back a bidet or I don't know their toilet system, but
Oh,
we
wait.
chose the cryo sleep.
Your cryopod didn't have a bidet?
Yeah, dude, mine
Oh
did.
shit!
That's why we're
Ours
so wet.
It was a bidet shower combo.
Yeah, dude. Mine
You won't
even makes sounds,
go
so
out.
people can't hear me pee.
Mine kept my
Oh,
butt
man.
warm.
Mhm.
Mine, mine kept me well fed. That's it.
I
Stay
really like
hydrated.
I really like how your cryopod kept you warm. That sounds
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the
The
thing with
sushi gotta be
bidets.
toasty.
Mhm,
yeah, dude.
mhm.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right.
But yeah, that's
Mm.
that's it. We want to get back into the swing of things, and
Mhm.
usually, right after this section, we'd usually read podcast reader mail. But it's been a year.
Yeah.
God.
Usually
Oh,
we
we're so
have
bad.
like a Patreon reader mail, and also
Mhm.
yeah. Speaking of Patreon, yeah, we've been really we've lost track of time.
Mhm.
Basically updating not only the channel but also our obligation to update the Patreon. So it's
Mhm.
really been a year of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I guess what's important to say is also like we're aware now this isn't like optimal, but yeah, we need to we're also aware that we need to make it right by y'all people supporting on the Patreon. Like it wouldn't be like we are of the mind that yeah, we want to get that we gonna get stuff going again, and also we want to make it right by everyone that's listening right now. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there we go. But like
Oh,
Yep.
on the exact steps that we are going to take, I think we'll have to figure out some more. But the mindset is we gotta correct that stuff. We gotta do right. We gotta treat
we
them
gotta
fa-
get
treat
back
them
on
listening.
the
Yeah, yeah.
horse.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Housekeeping.
Yeah,
Housekeeping
yeah.
done.
yeah.
Mhm.
I think the housekeeping is done. So, what do you call it? Who wants to start on their weeks? What about you,
Oh.
Mr. Raffy Graffiti?
Me? No,
How have
not
you been?
me.
How have you been, Raff man?
I'm okay. Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
In between that whole
Oh.
nothing of happening, um, I only have like a few short things that I wanted to really bring up and talk about. I guess because it's been like there's so much. There's honestly so much, and I just kind of want to do with the most like recent ones. Actually, yeah. So which one? Let's start first. Um,
Oh my god,
there's
what
a
happened?
I I think fine. What's it called? So there's a new Netflix documentary. In between all of the nothing that happened, I don't know if we covered like Vince McMahon being exposed for being an actual shitbag in real life. WWE CEO and owner Vince McMahon exposed for being actual shitbag in real life. Do we know that? Do
Okay. As a wrestling
Yeah.
neophyte,
mm-hmm.
like I know nothing, next to nothing
Ah,
about wrestling, right?
okay.
I've always had this like weird osmosis knowledge that he's a shitbag, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
know anything about it. What makes a McMahon a shitbag?
Okay. So so Vince McMahon has always been like I went into wrestling knowing that this guy sucks. I hate this guy. We are supposed to root against Vince McMahon because he's big corpo guy.
Is it not a work?
Um, some of it
It
is a
is.
work. Some
Yeah.
of it is like like dialed up to a crazy degree, but also some of it is real, and some of it is
Okay.
worse.
Okay.
He has
Okay.
like actual IRL problems and is actually a very problematic individual, and a good primer to for people to catch up on such as Emile who have only like absorbed it through like osmosis and like ancillary content. There is currently a Mr. McMahon documentary on Netflix.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
I saw this on an article. I heard that Mr. Vince tried to buy this show, so he would not show it,
Yep.
but
Yeah,
Netflix
I
said
heard that
no.
too.
Yep. Um it's also cuz this is the most kind of public recap of all of his like weirdness
Shenanigans. Yeah.
and all of his problems like all throughout his probably like six different lifetimes at this point because the boy old. um um so there's been a lot like it's good to have this kind of uh, uh uh list for people to catch up on all his like there is some like good stuff, all his achievements and stuff, but there's also a lot of bad stuff. And rather than kind of going deep into um the each of the single pieces of the McMahon puzzle, they actually just basically list it all. Parang ganun. Like instead of yung depth and hard hitting, they're kind of like okay, this is it. He they paint a picture of Mr. McMahon as a person. So it's good for like people who want to get to catch up on the McMahon lore, on the grim
Hmm.
dark McMahon lore.
Like how grim dark you
Yeah.
talking?
There are so much. Okay, so first off, they go into uh, they go into how wrestling back then was a very territories based affair. Like territories meaning okay, this federation is the one in Maine, this one is the one in Texas, this one is the one up north in the Dakotas. Um Usually those territories are their own kind of theater troupe for wrestling. And that's how
Hmm.
it was back then. Never should each of them mingle in each other's territory because that'd be bad, right? Like bad for each other's business. McMahon said,
Okay.
fuck all that shit. I'm going into your territories and we'll be the Worldwide Wrestling Federation. And he did this like kind of faux pas type deal wherein he competed with each of the territories until none of them could compete because they were just losing stars to the big bad wolf. So basically, he blew up all of the territories and consolidated all of them, just like the emperor. Just
Okay.
just like the emperor of mankind. So that was one of the first sins. To go down the list, also there's also a lot of like steroid abuse. There was also he apparently back in the day, which this was new to me. Um, there was a big steroid case against the WWE, and McMahon was solely charged for it because he was being accused of distributing steroids to his wrestlers to pump him up, Austin,
Oh
So
shit.
so
yeah,
so
Okay.
like a space marine.
like a space marine. Like he was making, he was he
He
was
was giving them
distributing gene
Rubicon,
seed
the
to
Rubicon
the
juice.
space marine. Mm-hmm. The Rubicon.
Oh god.
Uh huh. Uh huh. He
Yeah,
was
the
making them
Rubicon
all
juice.
primarises.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Amazing.
um and yeah, so he had to face all of that shit. Like there was also, and then we go into like the serious ones, which is like oh the objectification of the women and the that stuff is also out there. So it's a laundry list of his sins basically. So
Yeah,
Mm.
so people that only had like a very surface level knowledge of this dude see him for the actual dirtbag that he is, and then if they wanted to go deeper, they'd have to go to the internet for the specific ones. But yeah, Mr. McMahon, I'm curious to see like you guys, how you feel about that. Like what is your like initial knowledge of the dude and of that experience as a whole. Like where have you guys been familiar aside from Emil? Like
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
mm-hmm,
I've read the news and the wild shit that he's done and
mm-hmm.
accused of, and yeah, I got no words for it. Like it's diddler levels
Oh yeah.
of wild shit.
Did you say
And
diddler?
Yeah,
yeah,
dude.
dude, P
Yeah.
Diddy,
Really?
that P Diddy,
That bad?
P Diddy, yeah, that bad.
Oh God.
It's I don't know if we're gonna get flagged on the stream if I'm
That's
gonna mention.
Mm-hmm.
that's like the first time I've heard anyone refer to P Diddy as the diddler.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, it's been a while though.
Mm-mm-mm.
But yeah, that's like it's just an awful and also funny nickname. But yeah, it's a weird because we are like what Raffy said, we are all programmed to think of McMahon as the character, uh as someone you have to hate because
Mm-hmm.
he actually intended to do that for the show. Like
Mm-hmm.
he set himself up as the villain, and like I guess for the Netflix show, it's that uh, they want to show that he's trying to blur the lines of it a bit,
Mm-hmm.
but he basically went to the full 12 and never got back to reality. But
Man.
yeah, it's interesting. Like I haven't started watching it. I did see some of the previews.
Mm-hmm.
It is interesting. Like
Ooh.
I think one of the previews is about Owen Hart's death,
Oh.
like sudden death,
Yep.
and him not owning up to it. It's kind of like
Yeah.
the interview about that. Like they show the like some of the snippets of the interview, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
it would be disappointing for him. Like you would be disappointed for him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like ikaw pa yung ano. It's just I'm not sure if it's lack of human empathy or it's
Mm-hmm.
just him being just um at the thought of being backed down or like
Mm-hmm.
being cornered, so that's why he's saying that shit. But I don't know, man. Like if you're an owner
Mm-hmm.
of a business, you would be responsible for your staff
Yes,
and your
100%.
employees.
You
So
should, yeah.
Yeah.
that's like basic. And he's not doing that during the interview. So it's yeah,
Yeah.
it's that type of shit.
He's
Hmm.
definitely like robot businessman corpo.
Hmm.
Like so I
Yeah,
guess
yeah,
to fill in the blanks here for Emil, Owen Hart is basically a, I won't give away too much because a lot of it is in the documentary anyway and in real
Yes.
life. But
Yeah,
Owen
yeah,
Hart
yeah.
yeah.
basically is a wrestler under Vince's care. Um, and he had an unfortunate accident. Like he was supposed to come out as the Blue Blazer, this superhero character, and he was gonna rappel down from the ceiling. And it's been done before. He's done that before. He's rappelled down from the ceiling as his entrance. Blah blah blah. And then one unfortunate night, I mean, just like a grisly accident happened, he fell from the ceiling without like the thing malfunctioned, and he eventually he passed away because of that. So,
You know, like
hmm,
interestingly, as somebody who doesn't know anything about wrestling,
yeah,
like I'm actually familiar with the Owen thing.
really, okay,
And
cool.
like I'm familiar with that era of wrestling for some reason.
Yeah.
Like while we were growing up, that's what everyone was talking about. So
Mm,
I kind of had an idea about it.
mm-hmm,
But in general, I'm not familiar with the details because I never consumed it myself.
mm-hmm,
But the thing I find super interesting about this is like if like if it's been such public knowledge that this guy is a huge dirtbag
mm-hmm,
and he's getting away with it,
mm-hmm,
like the most interesting part to me is like did writing his villainy into the storyline that is like the kayfabe of wrestling help him get away with it for so long? You know, that's my
ooh,
question. It's like
ooh,
blurring the
You
lines between what's reality and what's a work,
mm-hmm,
right? Did that help him get away with all of this nonsense? That's my thing, right?
you could say that like there could be some instances that that actually happened, right?
They
Mm-hmm.
definitely it definitely softened the blow, maybe.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
because
yeah,
like
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
how
what I'm
we
thinking.
we're like we're so used to him being a shitbag. In real life he's also a shitbag as compared to, like, for example, a person is keeping up this type of persona, like really, like, goody two shoes, this and that, and then suddenly everything comes out. The what? He's stolen 64 wheelbarrows. Like
What?
you'd be
What?
more upset with that, right?
Wait, that's a
The,
crime he's done?
no,
I
no,
think that's an
Is
example.
Oh,
that
okay,
just
okay,
as
okay,
an
a
okay,
Joker
okay.
example
thing?
of a
I
heinous
thought,
No, no, I
crime.
mean that definitely happened in a
'I'll
sixty-four
in
believe it.
Backlash.
wheelbarrows.
I
That
thought
definitely happened in
this man was a
SummerSlam.
wheelbarrow menace. Damn.
No,
Alright.
there's also one like
Mm,
goddamn, like there's a lot of McMahon like craziness that happened that we
mm,
just let it pass because we're just too young to understand that. Oh no, that's actually horrible.
mhm.
That's
Like you
actually a
remember
human
when
rights violation. What?
yeah, like remember when John Cena was in his Thugonomics era
Yep.
and McMahon was just openly blurting out the N word
Yep.
Oh God, yeah.
when
Was?
he was
Crazy
saying it
Whoa.
time.
on
Really?
live TV. That was
Crazy
crazy.
time. Yep. Durag
Yeah.
Vince was whew.
Mm. That's like worse
Wait,
It
wait,
than
was
wait.
Michael Scott's other Michael Scott
mm,
variants.
Durag
Durag
Vince.
Vince?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was saying a durag.
Wait, is that real?
Yeah. I'm
What the
pulling it up
fuck?
right now, Captain.
Unfortunately
Putting
it
on the
is.
monitor.
Wait, dude.
Yep. Durag Vince is the true menace of the WWE. Like, did this should never have happened. The, and it is yo. We gotta pay attention. All right,
What the
here.
fuck?
Let
Okay,
me
okay.
behold.
Durag Vince. Hmm.
Oh my
That's.
God.
I am.
He actually wore one too.
The story of Durag Vince McMahon. This.
Yeah. I can't
Yep.
remember if it's in just one night of Raw or it was
No.
like a whole month.
It was a story arc, dude. It was a
Yeah, it was a
story
story
arc.
arc. But
He got the
I think
championship. He was the champion for a while. Like Durag Vince was the only championship run
that
for
is
Vince
true.
McMahon.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yep.
Also I
Terrible.
think there's also like one sub story of because I think that's the time where
Dude.
Booker T was doing the King Booker uh
Yep.
like segment and he was uh trying to catch Booker T off guard by doing also that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's
That's what I
terrible.
remember
Like
correctly.
definitely a lot of stuff that didn't hold up. And what's interesting from the McMahon documentary is that we get kind of first-hand admission from the people involved, like Hunter, like the Attitude Era
Oh god.
stars.
Undertaker would be like
Yeah, McMahon,
devastated.
Triple H, like basically admitting na, hmm, maybe we shouldn't have done that stuff, and that's kind of a first. That at least that is what the McMahon documentary does. Like it does catch them at a point of like it's the closest you'll see them regret what stuff the stuff
Oh
that
no.
happened. Yeah. So that
Yeah.
there's a success there, I guess.
Dude, dude,
Mm.
dude. In my attempt to elucidate myself, like, what do you call it? I looked it up. There's a
Mm-hmm.
song that is titled "Durag Vince" by a SoundCloud rapper.
Oh
I'm
no.
just gonna link it here. Just
I know I'm not sure if that's good. Oh no,
Allow
the
it.
link says
Twitch
like
is
it
not allowing
okay,
it
allow
either.
it. Okay.
We'll link it in the
yeah.
show notes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'll link it in the
To
chat.
our
Like
to our
I'm like,
fellow listeners,
Mm-hmm.
if this is what I think it is, just just a heads up.
oh
It might
really?
be it might be samples. It might be audio samples of Vince saying it.
My God.
Let's
Uh,
I hope it's not that, but just a
Durag
heads up.
Vince. Okay, but that's it. That's my contribution to this wrestling stuff. Durag Vince
how
the
do you
song.
feel about the Durag Vince, Miguel? So, not to put you on the spot.
I thought it was just gonna be like a work, but you
Mm.
showed the photo and he actually had a costume for it.
Yeah.
He took it that far.
Yep.
Holy smokes.
He was
Oh
walking
no.
around like doing shit. Like no wonder like fucking Austin. Do you know that promo wherein Stone Cold Steve Austin punches his casted leg on the
Yeah,
hospital bed? That
yeah.
shit still makes me laugh
Oh
Yep.
to
yeah.
this very
He
day.
bonks him with the bedpan.
And they fight with the bedpan.
Like you
That should
could
deserve for sure.
already like you could already guess what's about to happen
Mm-hmm.
during that scene.
Mm-hmm. The
Suddenly
nurse's back
this
muscles seem very, very
yeah,
pronounced.
like this Agent 47 is stalking this victim.
Yeah. Ayan. McMahon, I haven't finished all of it yet. I think it's up to 6 episodes. They
Oh.
chronicle the rise of Vince McMahon from, the territories age, like how he got the company from his father is also an interesting story. Because Vince McMahon
Oh
Senior
yeah,
was a
he was a junior.
traditionalist. Yeah. Vince
Yeah, I
McMahon
forgot he was a
Junior.
junior.
Yeah.
He was a nepo
Right.
baby.
What's interesting is he wasn't. You'd think that, but actually he wasn't. He had to grind to get. He had to do something to
Jesus,
get
he was
the
the
company from
Yakuza.
his
I mean
father.
the
Yeah.
Kazuya of the
He's
of
the
wrestling.
Mufasa of wrestling.
Oh, he's the Kazuya of
This
wrestling?
is
Isn't he?
yep. It exposed that he is the Mufasa of wrestling. In Mufasa in the prequels.
Oh no,
In the
He came
newly
you've
from-
spoiled
announced
the movie.
prequel.
yeah, it's in the trailers.
It's in the trailer.
Oh what? Really?
It's
Oh,
in the
Yeah, there's the
trailers that
Mufasa
this
prequel.
kid is
I
from
haven't
nothing.
checked the Mufasa trailer
I'm
because
Scar
not
was
up
the
to date
actual
with the
I'm kind of
biological
Mufasa lore.
afraid
Cheese.
of
child.
what I'll
Cheese,
see.
it's basically 8 Mile, but a lion.
What? No way.
He grew up from nothing
Yeah.
in a
Um,
trailer
Just
park
crying
in the
from the
savannah.
with Anthony Mackie as his best friend.
Oh, fuck.
That's Scar.
Yeah.
Oh
Jeez.
man.
Shit. All right. Yeah.
Like-
Yeah.
I thought this was just like a single documentary. It's 6 episodes.
6
Holy shit.
episodes.
Okay.
This is
okay,
a
okay.
lot
The
of
Last
wrestling
Dance.
history.
I will check it out. I will.
Yeah.
The last dance of wrestling.
The
yeah.
last dance
Yeah.
of wrestling. Yep.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Like,
mm.
Like think about it to me, like the man himself is trying to buy the show so
Yeah.
that it would like
So it doesn't air.
yeah, or it could mellow down the expose for him.
Yeah,
I mean
yeah.
against him.
Yeah, so we
That's
can edit it.
He's still
how
trying to
good it is, I
control.
guess. I don't know.
Mm.
The interviewer also had a lot of like moxie for an interviewer talking to fucking Vince McMahon, like the most powerful man in wrestling. Like he had a lot of moxie. Like there were times wherein Vince
He's
said,
asking the hard questions.
yeah, he was asking the hard questions, like he was like because eventually later on a bigger badder foe than Vince McMahon tries to buy up all his wrestlers also, so the table gets turned on him for the territories thing, right? And then the interviewer straight up asks him about that, like, isn't that what you did to the territories? No, it's different. This is a billionaire.
Man voice.
And then he goes, this is a billionaire trying to take over a family-run business. Like, well, that's what you did. That's what you did.
Said.
You're describing
Wait,
you.
Raffy,
Uh-huh.
how pronounced were the back muscles of this individual?
Oh god.
I haven't seen the last episode. Like, what if Austin was the interviewer?
The whole
He
time.
runs at
And he
him.
starts beating up Vince.
He was he was the dolly guy all along.
Busts out the bedpan.
He's just there. God.
Interviewer
Stone Cold Steve
316 just
Gurnall.
said, I just whoop your ass.
He was the AD all along.
The timestamp was 316.
The time.
If you could pause the interview, sir.
If
I'd
you
like to
add
check
up
out the-
if you add up all the minutes of the entire documentary, it's 316 minutes. Oh,
shit! That could have been the sweet revenge.
Oh
And
man.
that's the bottom line.
Because
The entire
interviewer said
documentary is
so.
just Stone Cold's podcast.
It's actually a promo for Stone Cold Spot. Oh
Oh
man,
man.
Wait.
Mhm.
I
Raffy.
wish the last
Yeah.
episode would be like a promo for an upcoming pay-per-view. It's
Like
McMahon versus the interviewer.
at at any point in time, does the interviewer ask him about Durag Vince?
I haven't gotten
That
there
would
yet. We're still in the attitude era, so
oh my
probably.
god.
But
I
they're
wish so.
starting they're starting to show off like the problematic aspects of the attitude era, this and that. I hope they get there.
Yeah, I hope he gets confronted about Durag
Yeah. I
Vince.
hope the
That-
interviewer just
what
hands him
the-
like
The
what
durag.
yeah,
Remember this?
remember this.
Do you remember this? What was up with that, Vince?
It's like a prosecutor has a fucking plastic
That's
bag.
evidence.
Exhibit A.
He gets Edgeworth out of nowhere.
Mr. McMahon, do you recognize this item?
And then he becomes Durag Vince in the interview.
Is
It
Durag
was
Vince
me
like-
all along.
Is the Durag like the mask? Like he puts it on and then he goes.
It's like the Goblin mask from it's like the Green Goblin mask.
The Durag talks to him.
Avenge me.
You know you want to wear it, Vince.
You know, you want to say the N word, Vince.
No, no,
You're unwell. You're sick.
no.
You saw the Durag in the dumpster,
He saw the Durag.
hanging in the dumpster.
even even out of even away from camera, like even if like he's not in the wrestling ring, like we zoom in on a
Oh,
photo
man.
of him, like a black and white photo of him, and the durag was in his like chest pocket. Like, it was influencing him this whole time.
The Durag is always in the photo somehow.
Dude, it's in the background of some photos.
Yeah,
It's always watching.
just in his soul, just in his shoulder, dude.
Oh,
How did we
God.
miss it?
Avenge me. Avenge me.
Oh god.
Fuck. Alright. Shit. Yeah. Mr. McMahon. Watch it.
I'll watch it. I'll
Yeah,
watch
yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah. It's
I need to check that out too.
Oh
it's
man.
fun to rag on, talk about, get kinda acquainted with the old man and his shittery. There's a lot of it that's also like he also achieved stuff. So I think I don't know how I feel about it yet, but it does go off and say this is also some of the good stuff that he did, like Attitude Era, like this and that, like how he made Hulk Hogan. Like a good part of the early days was Hulk Hogan, and like I learned, or basically it dawned upon me that the new realization was wrestling is a star making business. Basically,
Okay.
you as a
Yep.
promoter are made by your star. And but at that time, like the biggest star was Hulk Hogan and they came together and this and that, and how that phenomenon was made. That is pretty interesting. Like legitimately like, oh, I didn't know that's how that worked. Like from you come up together. Like your star makes you. You make the star, your star makes you. Like all of that. All of that shit was fascinating. And you know, cuz I never really I never really experienced Hulkamania. Like I experienced
Oh.
Hulkamania like
It's wild, Raffy.
He was already a legend.
he was
when he came
already
in.
a legend, yeah. Seeing that whole story of how that came together and like his actual big effect on that country and
Yeah,
like
dude.
everywhere else, I guess.
He was in Three Ninjas. Kick back.
Bro, that's where
Yeah.
I first saw him. That's Dave
his own TV
Dangerfield or
show.
whatever his fucking name was. What was
Thunder in
it?
Paradise.
I don't. Yeah. What was it? Fucking Dave Dragon. Oh,
Oh
that's
my
his
God.
name, Dave Dragon.
And the Star Force 5.
Hell yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, that was where I first saw him. So yeah, like that part is also very interesting. So yeah, Mr. McMahon. I think that's going to be my rec later for sure. On other news, and on other parts of the week, there are
Mm-hmm.
paano ba? Maybe we'll talk about this on Cheesy's one. So, because I've taken a bit more time here. But like, Warhammer is still good. We're still on the
Warhammer. Hmm.
Warhammer
Oh
train.
man.
Dude, I think
Uh,
we all have a lot to say about Warhammer.
mm-hmm. Is that gonna be on your side of the week's cheese? You're gonna bring up the Warhammer.
Weeks. That's my
Is the
fucking
most
year.
That's his year, man.
There we
Dude,
go,
dude, dude.
perfect.
from the Warhammer.
That's my
Dude,
whole year.
I
Brother.
think
It's so sad.
I think like Cheese has a lot more to talk about
Hell
when it
yeah.
comes to Warhammer, but for us, like it's primarily the Space Marine 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
maybe we can touch on Space Marine 2 a little bit.
I mean,
Yeah, a
we
little
could
bit.
do a we could do a hobby check. No, I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
kidding.
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Uh,
it's like the latest one is the Spice Marine, the Spice Marine too.
Two.
Spice Marine. All right, so we've been loving Space Marine too.
Mm-hmm.
I've been fucking.
Dude,
Ooh, I just can't get enough of the
it's
fucking game.
it's
It's
so
so good.
good.
So
It's
good.
so good,
And
man.
and
Fucking
and they
God.
always say this on like stream, like it's not like crazy elevated storytelling. It's very simple. Like
no, it's super simple.
Yeah,
smash
it's
shit up.
just
Yeah. Diba?
like
Like beat the enemy, like get your hammer, smash them in. You have jump packs now. Great. Like you fight hordes, like you do a sick execute, you take someone's talent, like a monster's talent and jab it in their throat. Yeah, testosterone. Our
Mhm.
our
yeah.
our friend our friend Pray
I
for
think
You says always describes it as lalaki, lalaki, which is like whenever something cool happens in Space Marine, Pray for You just goes ooh lalaki, like
Man, good
kalalakihan.
point.
like very very masculine fucking coded, like very masculine. It taps on very masculine vibes, like very aggression focused, this and that, and
You're
it does what it do very
you're
well. Mm-hmm.
do it very, very well. And
Mm-hmm.
you're super right. There's nothing inherently special about
Mm-hmm.
Space Marine 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Yeah.
it's a pretty simple game, pretty
Mm-hmm.
simple storytelling, but there's something about it that just pushes all the right buttons. I think
Mm-hmm.
while I was thinking about it this week, I was like going through the campaign of Space Marine 2. I was like some of the cinematics and some of the set pieces and shit like that. It was giving me this feeling that I have not felt in a very long time. Like the the best thing I can liken it to. Remember when we were kids and we were playing Warcraft 3 and
Mm.
like you watch the cinematic of Grom Hellscream versus Manaroth, right?
Oh
Ah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
that
Brothers.
cinematic gives me the same feeling as the cinematics in Space Marine 2. It gives me that same feeling of like, oh fuck, something awesome just happened. And like I don't think I've felt that in a game in a while. It's just raw spectacle and raw
Mm-hmm.
feeling and like
Uh-huh.
I it's but inherently the game feels really old, doesn't it? Like it feels kind of like it's from a
In a
different
good way,
era.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. Yeah.
it for me it feels like a good modern warfare campaign. Like
Mm.
Yep.
it's a roller coaster ride. Like yeah, I guess it is like the most similar game to compare it to is like Gears of War. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh
Um
yeah.
it is just action, all of the stuff is just straightforward. And to add some and to add about the storytelling, I think Pat stares at or Pat from Castle Super Beast actually summarizes it good well where he says that every Warhammer story in video games is pretty much the same. It's just Space Marines find Xenos and then suddenly chaos, and then that's the story.
Okay. Not
That's
yet.
what happened in Space Marine 1, that's what happened in Dawn of War. It
Mm-hmm.
always goes back to chaos.
Yep.
So it's like it doesn't have to be like I think he means that it doesn't have to be that complex of a story because it's Warhammer.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they have the Black Library books to tell a good story in order for fans to get into that thing.
Mm-hmm.
But for video games, I think Space Marine 2 has like the right approach to it where it's just action. It's just
Action.
um like what you call that word it's just flair or like
Mm.
all of
Mhm.
the bells, like all
It's
of
all
the
spectacle.
spectacle. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So so far
Dude,
I haven't finished the campaign, but
dude, I was helping you last night.
yeah,
You're on fucking the hardest difficulty. It's fucking hard.
I'm the angel of
Maybe you
death.
should.
He's just that good.
Dude.
It's funny because I think when we first bought the game,
Mhm.
one of our friends, Pray for You and Aris, straight up just went, "Let's do the hardest difficulty," and then yeah, I was peer pressured to do it, and then I never I never looked back.
Dude,
This is
dude,
Space Marine for
dude,
me. Like,
when I did the campaign, I saw that veteran was the intended experience and went there. But experiencing like the highest difficulty on your campaign has been interesting because certain
oh,
enemies
good.
pop up where there weren't for my
Mhm.
campaign. It's kind of nuts.
It's like a
Yeah,
platinum games difficulty thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like one example is the number of lictors we've encountered
Dude,
Jesus
during
Christ.
the campaign
Mhm.
early on after the first encounter of lictors. And then if you remember, like the first time we've ever done the co-op campaign, me, Raffy and Emile was playing, I think the first level where you have to, like, there's a scenario in the first level or first mission where you have to defend the coils. It's always about the gargoyles,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
there's always something about missions with gargoyles and being too
Hard.
unfair.
Super
Yeah,
hard.
it's
Yeah.
unfair.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and especially on Angel of Death. So in this in this particular mission, I'm not sure if you guys have the same experience on the lower difficulties, but yeah,
Mm.
on Angel of Death we've countered like two zoanthropes guarding
Jesus.
the coils along with the gargoyles, and it's
Yeah, the
just
satellites.
Mhm.
it is harrowing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um,
There are mines. There's a mine phase. There's a fucking.
like the mine phase is also harrowing, and it's
Mhm.
just lots of like uh Tyranids. It's just crazy.
But
But
like
mm.
Yeah.
as a game, like I'm just having so much fun with it. Like not only is the campaign awesome, but like we've been playing a lot of the co-op, and
Mhm.
the co-op has been incredibly fun as well. Just leveling your dude is has been fun.
Mm.
Yeah, dude. Like uh uh what's that called? Um we've been like hard yamming on the co-op, and uh like honestly none of the classes feel like okay, this is the one. Like, so you'd have different classes in the co-op, right? You have your heavy, your assault, your this and that. Uh but specifically me and Pray for You's class, like I feel like there's a lot of hatred that we put and blame into our class. Like I
The
don't.
fuck?
I keep saying like fucking assault class is so hard to do. Like there's a lot to master.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
like specifically with mine, it has like a jetpack, and it's very based on like perfect dodging everything. And for the guy with the big hammer, I didn't expect it to be so skill based. Like I didn't expect that I was supposed to be like absolutely like a fighting game, looking at things to parry and things to
Oh
like
no.
dodge and then punish. Like it's so high execution because assault class is designed to be in the front lines but also very squishy. So
Also,
uh-huh.
given that it's very skill based, and uh, your like your hardware issues, that's
It's
kind of
also,
insane
yeah.
that you're maining assault class.
No, yeah, I think it's also one of the main things is the game is also as heavy as a set of power armor on your system.
Yep.
Like it's like putting a whole Space Marine pauldron on top of your laptop. Like the, I've never seen a person stream it or like show it off on high settings on like on anywhere because it's just that tough. So yeah, word of warning for people interested to come into Warhammer as well, Space Marine 2. Like it's very hard to stream, very hard to get running on high settings also. So you have to have a beast of a rig as
Yeah.
well to play it. But yeah, yeah, Space Marine 2, very good if you haven't gotten it already. I know like some Warhammer peeps that uh, uh took some time before getting it. Like if you even have a passing interest to Warhammer, like grab it. But always, do what's best
My
for your
God,
wallet as well. That's also super valid. Yon.
this is like
Mm.
getting into I think this is like Emile getting into Final Fantasy 14 where you have prior knowledge.
Yeah.
If you have prior knowledge, you will
Mm.
really enjoy it. Like
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
there's I've been watching Raffy's streams on the campaign. Even though I've spoiled myself for it. Like
Mm.
I enjoyed like Raffy, I don't know, like geek gasming on some of the moments in the story.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when
Yep.
they showed like the I'm not sure if we could spoil it, but I think it's
Nah.
already but yeah,
Yeah.
there are moments where Raffy just screamed
Oh
or
yeah.
yelled at the screen
Mm-hmm.
at the screen.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's
It's
so
been known
good.
to happen.
It's been one that. And then I guess PvP is
Mm.
surprisingly fun. Um, for the first few days, there aren't any people playing it because like people are focused on the campaigns and the co-op missions. But uh, yeah, PvP when we try to check PvP, um, it's good. Like it's not it's not sweaty during that time, and people are just enjoying the mechanics of the PvP mode.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, like
Um,
the general feeling that the PvP gives me is that I am playing Unreal Tournament way back when, and like we're just having fun, you know?
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Or I think another like good comparison is like you're playing Uncharted multiplayer.
Oh, I've
Like
never.
it's not a good multiplayer, but it's also not horrible. It's like a serviceable multiplayer companion piece for the campaign.
Hmm.
So, and then yeah, it has all the classes that's in operations, and you still have to grind it if you're going to just start from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's enjoyable. It's my only gripe about is that we can't really uh group up or party up to six, so we have a full stack.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, that's a weird thing. Like,
That's really weird.
um, you still have to party up to three.
Mm-hmm.
Like fucking uh, who's that Phobos captain? Even meddled with
Akaran.
the even meddled with the game's PvP so that we can only party up to three people
Best I could
instead
do
of
is
giving
three
us six.
guys.
Oh, lore accurate. Holy shit.
Yeah,
Yep,
Okay,
we're
damn.
okay,
accurate.
okay. We're still
Give me
getting
six
So
men.
shortchanged by
Best I could do
fucking
is three.
Arkaran. Yep.
yep, that's our captain.
Hmm. Oh man, Space Marine
All right.
good.
Yeah, Space Marine good. I'm sure we'll hit it some more when we get to Migs's Warhammer big ol' year. But
Mhm.
I want to put a
Oh
button
god.
on my part because I'm going long. But yeah, definitely like one of the best games that I played this year. And the
Yeah.
most I think the most that I've played this year. Like this is the game I played most this year. Just because like grinding armor and shit is so like rewarding. Getting the perks and shit like that is so rewarding. Yeah, love Space Marine.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm gonna put a button on my the way I usually do. I'm going to go flicks in like a mouth. Ow!
Okay.
We're back,
I'm
We're
baby.
back.
Been a while.
We're back.
I was ready. Here we go. And this one
No.
is coming straight from Mr. McMahon, the documentary on Netflix.
All
It
right.
was about steroid abuse, and then Hulk Hogan basically was being interviewed on some show, and then
No.
he was told to just come clean that you use steroids. He was told by Vince, mandated to just be honest on the show. Just admit you do steroids and now you won't anymore because it's illegal now. Blah, blah, blah. Instead, what Hulk Hogan does is lie. Lie to the whole public and said,
Oh
I never
no.
took steroids, brother. I
Oh
never
god.
did this and that. Did eat vitamins, blah, blah, blah. Like, he basically denies any steroid use. And the documentary suddenly cuts to a person admitting I gave Hulk Hogan steroids, like personally, like at least at least 3 times I
Oh
injected Hulk Hogan,
no.
and then multiple people say that. So and then they cut to Hulk Hogan and said where he goes, I self-destructed my own self, brother. Like what? What? but, but but Hulk, that's what self-destructing means. Like
I self-destructed my own self.
it's so stupid.
Terrible, Leia. What the hell?
I
What in the
self-destructed my
cartoon
own self,
nonsense
man.
is this?
Dave Dragons. David.
You didn't need to know. We know who you were talking about when you say self-destruction.
Took too much steroids to the brain, I guess.
Yeah, dude.
Straight to the noggin. There you go. That was
Too much
like,
juice.
and that was my week,
Oh.
brothers.
Oh.
Oh shit!
What a
Both
good
of my
week.
weeks were brothers.
That's right.
Oh man.
Fated to
Alright.
be.
So much brother week. So much brother week. Who wants to get us started with another week,
Let's go, baby.
baby? Any of the
Um,
Miguels want to go?
You
Oh,
know, like,
but before that, I do
Mm.
have a request.
Mm-hmm. Uh
My recording stopped.
oh.
So
oh, yeah, we could
So-
get a break.
Restart.
I
We make a
mean,
new one?
there's a yeah, make
no,
a new
no, no.
one.
As in, like, I just started a new one, but we need the sandwiches again.
Alright,
Okay.
sandwiches.
So-
Live on
okay.
stream. Let's go.
So live on stream, sandwiches
Oh, no.
in 3. 1, 2, 3.
Sandwiches.
There you go.
1, 2, 3.
Sandwiches.
Sick. Sick. That's it. That's it.
A
That's it.
taste of how the hot
taste.
dog is made.
Mhm.
A taste of the back
That,
end.
does that prove that hot dog is a sandwich?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
A hot dog
Wait,
is a
let's
sandwich.
Okay, I thought
go.
we have a debate.
Nah,
I
nah.
thought we are at war. But yeah.
Brother.
So,
Um
like, since we were already talking about Warhammer, like,
Mhm.
cheese, like,
damn it.
what's going on with the
Mhm.
rest of your Warhammer?
Hope you guys are
business?
prepared for 2 hours of me ranting about this hobby. No,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah. Besides the video game, you're into a whole hell of a lot more. I mean, we all got into Kill Team, like most of us.
Mhm.
But like you've gotten into
Oh
the
man.
Warhammer
You
really,
know,
really bad.
when before we recorded this, like a day after, I was writing the show program, trying to prepare for this stream and for this recording. So I did the thing where I have to check past episodes for reference on
Mhm.
what we say in the intro because I really forgot. So I check out the Warhammer episode.
Mhm.
And oh boy, dude, we've said, well, actually, I said a lot of shit that I regret saying right
Were
now.
you
Which
wrong?
was okay.
Things like, I guess we're not gonna go into the big hammer, right? And this is just gonna be a kill team, right? And
Which from I hear on your part is wrong.
yeah, yep.
You have made yourself a liar, brother. You self-destructed your own self.
I self-destructed my own self, brother. Uh, so so during the 1 year hiatus, I've become a Warhammer.
A Warhammer yourself.
So
Uh-huh.
like we did the hobby, like yeah, we did start that kill team. And then we were doing games, we were doing like kill team games, but that didn't stop me from buying more kill team shit. But yeah, I've been to a place called Arkom Arkom Lounge
Mhm.
in our area in the south, the deep south.
Mhm.
Uh it's a hobby store slash um like a paint, like hobby paint store, where they also um cater hobbyists or like war gamers to hang out, and you can play there, you can paint there for
Your
free. I
local
mean,
dude.
not for free, but like this was supposed to be my rec, but yeah, like Arkham has this interesting service where you could actually paint there for an hour or whatever, and then you can use their paints. Their limitless supply of paints for free,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll just charge you an hour for it. So if you have no tools, you have no paints, you can just hang out there and just do your
Huh.
hobby in Arkham Lounge. And then yeah, I've been frequenting Arkham Lounge ever since we've started Kill Team because that's where I paint my miniatures. If I need extra paints or if I need like a whole like color theme going on, so that's where I hang out. And I got friendly with the folks there, and then one thing led to another, and then they invited me to Saturday game nights or game days, and that's where I got introduced to more Warhammer. Um,
Mm.
so I'll introduce myself to the group as the guy who plays Kill Team, and then immediately they hooked me up like a drug dealer. They hooked me up
Yup.
with Blood Bowl. They hooked me up with Blood Bowl,
Oh
dude.
wow, the gateway drug.
Um, yeah, because it's so Blood Bowl to anyone who isn't um familiar with it is a quick it's just a board game, basically a board game of football, like American gridiron football that's set
Mm-hmm.
in the Warhammer fantasy universe.
Yeah.
And it's pretty interesting because it's like you're playing a board game and you're playing sports. So that's what that's what hooked me, sports. Like sports guy. I know football. I know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I have very, very different expectations in Blood Bowl because I thought that we're gonna play downs. We're gonna play first down, second downs. We're gonna play football, but it's not. It's very different. Like, I don't wanna explain too much about Blood Bowl, but know that it is very fun. It is very you can have a very quick game for about like 30 minutes if you want to. Like it is a very enjoyable like beer and pretzels game of Warhammer and sports and football. So
Is
it's
that
really
what you get
nice.
when you sports? Beer and
Yeah, dude.
pretzels.
I mean, that's the term for it, like beer and
Mm.
pretzels, where you just enjoy like you enjoy an activity over beer, and it's nothing as sweaty. It's not sweaty, you know. Like you just enjoy, like for example, like a beer and pretzels games like Monopoly or other board games like I
I
don't know,
see.
like Jenga or something like
Mhm.
that. So that's what we categorize Blood Bowl. Like it's just very casual, very inviting to new beginners if they don't know anything about Warhammer. That's actually um a good entry point to Warhammer, especially if you're not like, if you're a sports fan, like oh you're a sports fan, then we got Blood Bowl.
Okay.
So yeah, so that got me in, and then I think a few weeks. I remember this because I think that this is during Christmas last year,
Mm.
and that's when Games Workshop announced the new army box for the Dark Angels, specifically the Deathwing Assault box, which
Oh
is
boy.
basically just a box of Deathwing Terminators and Deathwing Knights. And I don't know, man. For some reason, it got me.
I feel like you
Like
know.
Oh
I got
yeah.
the I was um it got me hooked with the design of the Terminators, especially the Deathwing Terminators, because they're all like bone armored, like bone colored. So that's very
Mm.
unique on their
Alien.
chapter. It also like gave me like like the like honestly the box art really got me. Like it is weird to say it, but the number one reason is the box art.
Mm-hmm.
I'll believe that.
Um yeah, it's like it has like an artwork of like there's like a big typography of Deathwing Assault, and it's all in gothic font, like bold gothic, and it just screams like it just screams Warhammer and like Arthurian for some reason. Like it's like I don't know what happened or what got me into it, but yeah, it got me hooked, and then I was research like one thing led to another. I was researching about Dark Angels and if I do want that box, and then I'm like, and like when I got into the Dark Angel stuff, like I just found out that the Primarch has its own miniature now, so you can actually use the Primarch on the games. And then, oh no, this is some, like, I specifically remembered during that time that I'm going I'm going Big Hammer. It's
Oh,
scary.
that was the one.
And then,
So,
yep, that's the one. And then one thing led to another, and then yeah, I got
yeah.
it. I
So,
bought the box, and then I learned how to play Big Hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to Arkom, I learned.
oh man,
Uh, and then it's funny because yeah, I never thought that Big Hammer is is it as complex as Kill Team?
it's simpler,
Like
right?
it's
Oh,
simpler.
really?
Like that
Oh,
that
Yeah.
that
I
kind of
didn't know
got
that.
me into Big Hammer because for some reason both 40K and Age of Sigmar has a more simpler game loop than Kill Team, and
Oh,
it's a bit
Huh.
dude, for sure.
faster. It's a bit faster to set up. Like my
Really?
Oh.
only gripe and my only my only gripe in Kill Team that it's too complex for some people, and it takes too long to set up if you're not used to the system.
Dude, I would say Big Hammer is Counter Strike, and basically Kill Team is R6, right? As far as complexity
Ah.
is.
Is it?
Uh-huh.
Would you think that's accurate?
It's
Is that a good analogy?
yeah, I think so. For me, I think yeah, I think that's a good one. Like it's the Counter Strike to to the
R6.
R6, yeah. It's also something like if you want sim levels of racing, you go to Gran Turismo. But if you want to have fun, you go to Daytona or something.
Okay.
Yeah. There you
Mm,
So
go. That's
it's
even better.
I
That's even
see.
better.
Okay.
I mean there's still there's still complexity on the system because you are gonna read a lot of rules, and then you have to roll a lot of dice. But
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
compared to Kill Team, it's also um it's also much more manageable, I think, because for example, you have a game of Warhammer, and your army consists of like four different units. So you have like a unit of intercessors. So you have a hero unit, you have a tank, and then you have another assault intercessor or something. So that's just an example. So you only have four things to look out for. You only have four rules to read. In Kill Team, for example, if you're a Pathfinder Kill Team owner, you have to look out for 11 rules.
Yep.
So because Kill Team treats each model as its own thing, right? So that's
Exactly.
something
Exactly.
that is something that is kind of that just surprised me when I first learned about uh Warhammer. When I first played my first game of Warhammer, I only watch out for, like, I only read like three rules, like three units, like a small 500 point game, only three units, and I enjoyed it. And I think there's just too many dice, but like there's too many dice involved in a game of Warhammer compared to Kill Team. I think that's the only gripe I
Mm-hmm.
had, but it's still enjoyable. And then Uh, so yeah, I got introduced to Warhammer 40,000. I bought the box already. So I was in it. I was in it. And
Was
then
in it. In it. Damn.
one of the friends that I met in Arkham taught me Age of Sigmar, which is the the
Oh God.
fantasy arm of Warhammer.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
my God, you're
And I
in
said,
in.
"You know what?
He's in. Holy shit.
Since I'm already here, since I'm in here in Arkham, like hanging out with this new hobby community, this new family,
Mm-hmm.
um, because I think I told this to Migoy about uh how important it is to have like a third place.
Mm.
So that's my third place during the year, which is Arkham. But since I'm already here, I might as well learn every game. That's my goal during the year. Learn every game. Get to play every demo of the system that uh Warhammer offers. So far I've played Blood Bowl, I played 40,000, I played Age of Sigmar, I played Warhammer Underworlds, which is another like a smaller version of Kill Team or Warcry. Speaking of Warcry, I also played Warcry, which is the Kill Team equivalent of Age of Sigmar.
I've
So
seen
I've
that. Yeah.
basically played everything except for Old World, which is the rank and file version of Warhammer Fantasy Battle. Um, but yeah, that's crazy because uh, I did I did like how different all these systems are, and so far that's the hardest part because you tend to decide that I need at least one army for all of these game systems. And guess what? I did that.
You have an
So
army now?
I
This is
I
quite a
have
different approach from what we
from
started
what we
with. We're
discussed.
just gonna
Yeah,
start with this one.
exactly.
I'm gonna learn
Yeah.
all of them.
Dude,
Yep.
dude,
Yep.
like
So
I am pretending like I don't know, but I know because I acted as a mule for this man.
Oh.
This man approached me one day and said like, "Yo, Emile, can I have something sent to your house? I'll and
no, it's
and
gonna
could you
add
Wow,
your
just
I did
send it
course.
not
over
know
to
this.
me?"
I did not know this.
Yeah.
And then I was
Yeah.
like, "Sure, man." And not knowing what I was picking up, like at my house shows up this giant box, this giant plastic box. And when the guy says, "Should we check what's inside and like make sure it's all good?" I open it up and it's full of Warhammer figures. Just so much Warhammer. Like
Whoa.
some big figures, some like what was that army that
It
you
was like
sent over
a
to me? What
there was
is
like a
that?
big egg in it too, right?
Yeah.
Dude.
So what happened was because I did get to learn all of the game systems except for Old World. I was leaning towards Age of Sigmar because a lot of the people that I became friends with in Arkham Lounge play
Mm,
Age of Sigmar. Almost all of them
mm,
play Age of Sigmar. So they're waiting for me to actually get into Age of Sigmar. And I said, I will probably get into it once the new edition starts. And I've already told them what I want. Like I want Iron Jaws. I want the Orc War clans. The big boys. Um,
respect.
and the thing about the Iron Jaws is that it's hard to buy Iron Jaws miniatures in our country for some reason. It's always sold out.
Mm-hmm.
So one day, one of my friends from Arkham Lounge messaged me, like he notified me that
Mm-hmm.
someone is selling their Iron Jaws army in one of those
Oh
Facebook
shit.
marketplace groups.
Mm-hmm.
And then uh long story short, I got it for a really good deal. Like
Mm-hmm.
Almost like half off,
supposedly
right?
like
Half.
the meme of the meme of 40K isn't the year of the game, right? It's the amount of money you put into the
Yeah,
into the
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
miniatures. So I got it for like a quarter of it.
Yeah.
That's how
Whoa.
Like
cheap it is.
like you got it at a really good deal and you made the deal even sweeter by having him send it over to me so you didn't have to pay double the shipping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I think he lives in QC, like very
Mhm.
north. So what I
Mm-hmm.
did was, uh, you know what? To make it not complicated when it comes to shipping, just send it to my friend in BGC and they'll just get it there.
And you were gonna go
And
there anyway, right? To play
yeah, I
games.
was gonna go there anyway. I was actually going to play with Emile and our good friend Chad from Raymaru Files. We're going to play Kill Team, and it's really funny because when
That
Chad
was
came
that
in
time.
and he saw
Mm.
that big murder cabbage in Emile's table, I was like,
Mhm.
"What the fuck is that?"
Mm-hmm.
It's my army, Chad. But yeah, it's something. Like
Dude,
even I was surprised when I first saw the box and was wow.
it was big. It was intimidating. And what do you call it? Like I'm going to share this for the first time right now. I've been looking at armies. Like I've been looking, but then
Okay.
the only thing that's been stopping me is I will look to my left right now and look at my kill team that is unpainted. And I'm like, nah, I can't get into it if I can't even paint this thing, right? So
They're not
that's what's been
alive yet,
stopping me.
Woody.
Yeah, they're not alive yet.
Yep.
Yeah,
You got it,
your
dude.
your
It's
your
the
your kill
right
team
there.
haven't gotten into the cupboard yet, basically.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta paint them. But dude, I've been looking and like I've been really into because like sure I could build like a fucking Tau army or shit like that, but like the Sisters of Battle are just so cool and I've been looking into it so hard. And like I want
Yeah.
to somehow incorporate the assassins and you can't do that if you're Tau. So I'm like,
Yeah, you have to be Imperium if you want to use
yeah,
the
exactly.
Calidus assassin.
Yeah.
Oh man. Just know, Emil, that if you are going into it, at least you have one person already who can play with you. So
Okay. I'll
Mm-hmm.
think
that's
about it, my
me.
man. Dude, that's a deep
Yeah.
hole. It's a deep hole.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
man, it is a deep hole.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing. Like after splurging a lot of dollary dues into this, I don't think I've ever like I haven't like honest to God, I haven't spent anything anymore.
Dude.
like that's a cool thing about that purchase, like my last purchase, which is the whole army. I don't have to look for anything at the moment because it's already there. I just have to
You're
paint
set.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just have to like spend time with it. The only thing that is um yeah, the only thing that is more expensive than army is the number of paints you have to buy and all that other hobby tools. But yeah, since I do have like I do have the access, like I do have access to Arkom Lounge. That's the thing.
Mm.
Like at least
Mm-hmm.
I can paint there.
Man, it's so intimidating
Um
though. Fucking Warhammer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but it looks so fun. Whenever I see people playing it, I'm like, oh, I want to do that. But why is it so expensive?
Yep.
yeah, that's the thing. Like you don't have to even like spend money on it too much. Like there's always access to 3D printers, that 3D printed miniatures. Um and I know a lot of people doesn't like that. Like some people are kind of elitist that oh you just have to you need to buy the official miniatures. But this is like dude, the theater of the mind thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can just kit bash and all that stuff.
Oh.
Um
Migs, we have a very good question in chat
Mm-hmm.
from
yeah.
Drazirik.
Mm-hmm.
My concern is where to even start getting into the 40K universe.
I mean, you don't
Ooh.
even have to buy the miniatures. Even you
Great
can just
question.
go into like go into the lore. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
Yes.
what
dude.
we all started with. Like we
Dude,
went into YouTube and like search about Warhammer.
Yep.
Or
like,
just straight up buy Space Marine 2 right now.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's a good entry
People do
point, I
that.
guess. Like you can
Um.
do the video game.
Oh, sorry. Go for it.
Yeah. Go ahead. That's
I was gonna go. I was gonna say like for it, like if for exploratory things, like if yeah, there's books and there's games, yeah, for sure. But like if you just wanna kind of dip your toe in first and find out like more about it before you actually commit, because I feel like the second you put money in, I feel like that's a slippery slope, or at least like
oh yeah,
like it's way better if you start with like the lore. I know so many people that are way deep into the Warhammer, but only for the lore perspective. Like just because
yeah,
like the situation doesn't allow for it just yet, and this and that. Like they're building up, but they're really into the lore. Like they understand like every bit of it, and that's a good starting point. Like know more about the universe, and actually it's actually really fun just learning about the different stories of the universe and how it's made. Yeah, I think that's the best part. And if you like it enough, if you feel like okay, I wanna go deeper. I wanna actually like play. I wanna actually like experience this on a level where I participate in it. Then like take that step towards like your kill teams, your Space Marine 2s, like buy the video game, and the video games. Um Yun. So I feel like lore is a good place to start. I will link it in chat right now.
Yep.
Uh, this is the one that got me personally started, and I think is one of the first videos that like a lot of us here started with. It was something from Bricky, and it
Oh
says
yeah,
Ah,
Brick.
Dude, the
ev-
Bricky video is great.
every single Warhammer Space Marine Legion in a nutshell. Like there's
Hmm.
this, and there's also every single 40k faction explained,
Yeah, part one
and
and part two.
part one and part two. Like those will start you off, and I recommend those because those are the most like uh tonally kind of where I approach the series. Like yeah, this place isn't meant to be taken seriously. Like you're actually grimdark fascist person. No, like you're supposed to look at them and say, "Wow, that's stupid. Wow, that's something that's really dark." Na it's from a cautionary tale, and also um what's it called? It's coming from a meme perspective, which makes it very easy to digest. He's basically like the Gregor of
Oh
40k.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
that's
Oh
also
yeah. Oh
deep.
yeah.
Right?
But
Oh yeah.
also
Mm.
to add into getting or dipping your toes into the actual hobby or the actual games, you can also just visit your nearest local game store.
Yeah.
Because most of the time they actually offer demos of the games. That's how I got into it actually. Like someone's just offering me to teach me Warhammer, and then they also already have like they already have the armies ready for you to play with. Um, and also, yeah, there's I know a lot of people who try to get into Warhammer, but they're not really good at the hobby, and then they decided to quit. But we still try to encourage them to check into the hobby too, because that's also one thing that is nice about Warhammers that you can also enjoy it as a hobby instead of a game.
Mhm.
You can collect miniatures that you like, and then you can learn to paint them. And when it comes to painting and also learning how to paint, there's also a lot of information or videos, video tutorials on how to go, how to get into that. Um, for me personally, that's actually what I like about Warhammer. Like I'm into the hobby and the painting stuff more
There's
than the games.
Mhm.
there's so many avenues to get into Warhammer. I think
Mhm.
the best description of Warhammer I've seen is Warhammer and Warhammer 40k is not a game per se.
Mhm.
Like at this point, it is a setting
Mhm.
that has
Yeah.
games. It has video games. It has tabletop games. It has all sorts, but primarily 40k is a setting,
Mhm.
right? And things happen in this universe, and there are properties in this universe. And since we're talking about getting into it,
Mhm.
like the thing I've been enjoying the most is seeing Call of Duty, Gears of War, Halo Bros experiencing Space Marine 2 and using
Yeah.
that as their entrance into the setting, right? They're like, yo, why are Space Marines so cool?
Mhm.
Then they start getting into it. I've been watching a lot of people who have used Space Marine 2 as their gateway. So you could start anywhere, really.
Yeah. Also, back on the painting part and the hobby part,
Yeah.
on my local game store, we do participate in the escalation leagues that the distributor of our country's been offering. So um there's like a season event in stores right now called Escalation, which is you get a bunch of people in, form like a chapter of brothers.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
then you have like your captain, your chapter captain, trying to facilitate or supervise the escalation. It's just basically um, for example, in Age of Sigmar, which I've participated in, our escalation rules is basically you have 1,200 points that you need to paint, and every month you have to paint at least 200 points worth of units in your army. And
Mm.
then
Okay.
we do checks on every end of the month on what we've progressed so far. We're not even playing the game at this point because we're starting from 0 points to 1,000. So literally, the first month we just painted 200 points worth of units, and some of them are just heroes, just one unit or one hero. So you can't really play the game. And I guess that's also appealing to some because you don't have the pressure of playing the game. You can just participate in this escalation league and just paint through the whole 6 months. So far that's what I've been doing, and I've been working on the Iron Jaws, like the army that that Emile received
Mm-hmm.
in his doorstep. So I've been working on that as sort of like a hobby project instead of like, oh, this is my army that I want to play with. It's basically a hobby project, and then like every month I've been trying to progress and paint, and not only that, I've also been recording all of my progress. I'm actually doing content creation,
Let's
and
go.
the plan is this October. Uh, I would be, I would be, uh, uh, I guess I would try to upload videos of my progress for the Escalation League,
Nice.
and it's also in theme because there's a thing in Games Workshop and Warhammer called Orktober, where people
October.
actually showcase their orc models and
Oh,
miniatures. So
Oh.
that
oh
is
my
interesting.
god, it's so good. I
Yeah.
want to
The-
participate in making art. Is that allowed?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
You
want to
dude.
can
make.
actually do like an Inktober, but it's Orktober. You
I
could
want
do
to do
that.
Do it.
October.
Yeah. I think they did this before also in March. During March it was the March for March for Macarg, or what's that
Macrag.
system? Macrag. So it's a
Yeah,
March
yeah.
for Macrag, and during March they were showcasing miniatures of Ultramarines. So that's pretty interesting. Like it's Ultramarines month during March or some shit like
Okay.
that.
I'm not jazzed by
So
it because it's Ultramarines. Like,
yeah, it's
oh,
Ultramarines.
this is always fucking.
But October though,
It's like
yeah.
saying, oh, July is June is June Cena month. Like we don't we don't
June
I don't
Cena,
care.
man.
Yep. Oh,
Yeah.
but yeah, I like October because it's just the collective space of orc players trying to participate in this movement.
God, I
Oh
So
really
yeah,
man,
want to join October. I'm gonna
yeah,
do
do
it.
it,
I
do it.
really want to do
Really nice.
it.
it sounds super fun, man.
um,
Warhammer's such a deep hole.
yeah. My little tidbit here is that I tried getting wife into Warhammer. I
Oh
tried.
The
really?
lore,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, sister battle here and there, because that's my faction. Oh, these are Space Marines. That's my faction. Watch gameplay a little bit. Nice lah. Like, she's being kind about it. Like, okay, I like it. And then we watched Orcs, and then she
Yeah.
loves Orcs. Like,
Hey,
Denise actually loves Orcs.
That's
Like,
great.
on a daily basis, she would remind me of Orcs. Like,
That's
Amazing. Is she
that's the
great.
spouting orcs
one thing.
facts?
Yeah, not really, but like, oh,
Okay.
just like the orcs. Like, this is the okay, all right. I gotta go. I gotta do something about that.
That's good.
Love orcs, great orcs. Got maybe October is something that we can do with the wife. All right, yun lang.
Yeah.
Just
Awesome.
wanted to add to that. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I guess yeah, I could go on and on talking about this hobby. But yeah, it's so far that's been the whole year. Like it's just trying to learn about, like all of the systems. And I guess I did it except for Old World, but I have no interest at the moment of playing another system.
At the moment,
um
he said.
at the moment. Because I do want to learn about Middle Earth. Because there's also a game system for Middle Earth, which is Middle Earth strategy battle game. And it's just fantasy, but it's Lord of the Rings, so it's also my jam.
that
Um,
somehow has made its way into my feed as well now. Actually,
yeah, I guess it's all thanks to the show in Amazon and the upcoming anime movie. But yeah, that's also one thing that I kind of want to get into want to get into, which is Middle Earth, but I don't know. Like so far, I've been busy with my orcs and my dark angels, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much
Nice.
my year of Warhammer.
Oh, anything else happening with you that you want to talk about? Anything else that you've been
Uh,
into?
well, we did. Well, not really just me, because we did
Mm.
manage to experience this new game that's in alpha. For some reason, is now accessible to most of the people in Steam, and
Yeah,
that
Mm.
is
dude.
Deadlock.
Oh, right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so we did manage to get into the alpha, which is very generously shared to a lot of people. The alpha access. So it's interesting. It's at first I was expecting to be a shooter, but at its core, it's a MOBA.
Mm-hmm.
So playing it for the first few hours is a bit jarring because you have the urge to shoot bang, but you forget that there are creeps in front of you and they're trying to kill you, and somehow it is also like you have to remember that this is a MOBA.
Yeah, dude.
Yep.
And
Like it tricks you into thinking it's a shoot bangs, but you gotta remember it's a mo bangs.
yeah,
And the phasing is like
MOBAs.
extremely strict for this.
Yep. You gotta respect
Like
your footsies. Like, you gotta respect like not over like dipping,
yeah,
Dude,
not dipping too
no joke.
much. You don't have to like ano yun, tunnel vision into kill, because like that
yeah.
was one of the main things that we had to deal with, because my mouse hand plays a shooter. When I see an enemy, that enemy's
You shoot.
dying. Like, I'm gonna shoot it till it dies. But that's really not how
Yeah,
you play Deadlock. Like, you're supposed to play it like
You have
a
to lane
MOBA.
first.
your MOBA.
You gotta prioritize the creeps first
Yep.
before
Hmm.
getting into
Dude,
the
it is
hero.
a MOBA first and a shooter second. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
Exactly.
And like
definitely.
Yeah.
it's so MOBA first that one of the recent metas has been melee. Just
Mm-hmm.
everyone's meleeing creeps. Everyone's meleeing everyone. It's
Because there's deny.
because yes,
There's
Yeah,
deny.
since
absolutely.
this is a Valve game, so
Mm-hmm.
denying creeps' presence, that's similar to Dota. And in Deadlock, what they do with the economy and how you earn resources is that once you shoot a creep, there's a soul, like their soul
Yep.
floats
Hmm.
upwards, and you have to shoot it
Mm-hmm.
before you get the resource.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's
yeah.
not
No,
automatic.
if you let it like fly up, it will
Mm-hmm.
eventually go into your pool. But how
Mhm.
the denial works is you can shoot it early to bank it fast,
Mm-hmm.
but also
Yeah.
your enemy can shoot the soul to deny you
To
the
deny
Yep.
it.
experience.
So
Mm-hmm.
you have like a few seconds to do it, or else you'll get denied, or
Yeah.
you'll eventually get it if it's ignored. And then that's where melee comes into play. Is that if you hard melee a creep, all of the resources that it has will automatically go to you. So
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
there's no
No
need to
denial
shoot the
possible.
soul. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
So no denial. So
There's
that's the
no
current
need to
meta.
shoot the aim labs ball that pops up.
Oh god, damn labs. Yeah. So it's interesting. Like it's an interesting mechanic apart from the other interesting mechanics that Deadlock has got us. Like zipping is also one of them, and
Mm-hmm.
the flexibility of the game's lanes. So in this game, there's no roles. I think
Mm-hmm.
that if you're
Hmm.
familiar with the MOBA language, you'll always get top, mid, bottom, and support and jungle.
Mm-hmm.
In Deadlock, there's none of it. Like I think there's only just color coded lanes,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not really permanent. Like they kind of change it from game to game or from a few weeks or so. Like there's no permanent blue lane or orange lane, because sometimes they'll go to green or violet.
Yeah.
Um so that's something. Like I think it's like a total of 5 lanes or 6 lanes. Um is it 5? I forgot. But
Uh,
yeah, that's how they
Four.
split up the map.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not you don't have a like a permanent, I guess, role, but you still have like um character types in the game. where you know that, oh, your character is a tank, your character is someone that is good at carrying,
Mm-hmm.
or your character is very flexible. So there's
Mm-hmm.
still that type of MOBA DNA in it.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to laning, it's pretty much different than MOBAs. At least for the MOBAs that we played, which is, I guess, League of Legends and Dota. I'm not sure if Smite has this type of flexibility, um, because Smite is also like a third person MOBA, right? So it's pretty much um comparable to Deadlock, but at the same time, it's like Deadlock's still a different beast.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Dude, like for me, one of the interesting things that not a lot of people like really pick up on is in the
Mm-hmm.
first 10 minutes, laning is very strict, right? You get assigned a lane, you need to stay in that lane.
Mm-hmm.
Because if
yeah,
you do not, like let's say I'm assigned to the yellow lane, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I decide, "Oh, but I want to go to the blue lane." If I go to the blue lane, I make 50% less, like as far as souls
yeah,
go. Like you
Mm-hmm.
need to stay in your lane to actually like what do you call it? Earn the proper amount of souls. And I think that's interesting because like other games, you're kind of assigned a lane, but you're not penalized by the game by going to a different lane, right?
Right.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're not actively like being told basically by your money that you should go back to your own lane. Like
Mm-hmm.
I
actually
mean, you
they
can still do
promote.
it, but
Mm,
yeah, you can still do it. You can still visit others' lanes,
yeah.
but early on, it's not like
Yeah.
there's no benefit.
Yeah.
Like
Aside
it's
from
better
getting a
just
kill maybe, like ganking up on a person.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
It's interesting. Dude, Deadlock has been super fun. I
Mm-hmm.
think the most fun we've had with it was when you guys discovered how fun like all the cops together were playing.
Don't say
Dude,
it like that, dude.
dude, dude,
That was
like
so
we loaded into a game and like Raffy and Migs were the cops. And like they just kept going cop meta, you're under arrest. Like FBI open up and like
good.
we had so much fun.
It was so
Oh god.
good, dude. Like I was Warden,
Warden. Yeah.
and
Warden's nuts.
Not the R6 character.
Mix was
Abrams.
Abrams, which is like Blue
Yeah.
Hellboy,
The
and
Like
like a
a
Abrams'
punch
shit.
detective.
man.
Abrams' shit is like I will punch you. I have this one ability to punch you harder. I have this one ability to get closer to you. I have this one ability to regenerate my life so I can punch you harder. So, but
Yep.
he's kind of shit at range. Like he's got nothing to
Oh
do at
yeah.
range.
The shotgun
And
is trash.
Yeah.
Warden, his definitive ability for me is like the handcuffs, which is like what like policeman, whatever, right? So that's what we ended
Yeah.
up doing in the lane. Like, oh, is this an
Oh,
offender?
open up.
Like, what?
I'll
Are
arrest
you?
him so you can punch him.
Yup.
And we're not shooting
Just
anything.
like
We're
the real
doing
police.
yep.
It's police brutality in a
Yup.
MOBA.
Yep.
Oh god.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a weird combination that worked for us.
Loved it. Love every
I
second
loved it.
of it. It was
Yeah, we
effective
did.
until the end.
But yeah, this also the setting of this game is interesting. Like we say cops and robbers. I mean
Mm-hmm.
we say the cop meta because most of the aesthetic of Deadlock is like veering towards what 1920s noir,
Mm-hmm.
like New
Gangster
York
shit. Yeah.
gangster shit, but with a twist of like macabre and like horror
Supernatural
themes
nonsense.
True.
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and supernatural stuff. So it's kind of it's a cool aesthetic actually
Mm-hmm.
compared to what they were planning. I believe I think they're planning to have like a futuristic neon like aesthetic for this
Mm-hmm.
game, but they eventually canned the idea and went with this one, which is much more interesting to be honest.
Yeah.
And
I
like I
sorry.
really like the setting. Like
Mm-hmm.
what do you call it? It's interesting that this setting has undergone so many changes and the game is still in alpha.
Mm.
Before, like apparently it was like a neon cyberpunk aesthetic. That's
So
why you
Mm.
have characters like who's that samurai guy? Like
Oh yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yamato.
Yamato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like apparently that design is a leftover from back when it was still a neon cyberpunk thing and
Right.
she's going to be changed,
Oh.
right?
Thing.
But like apparently, the thing I learned about this game even more was before, like it one of the possibilities was it was going to be in the Half-Life universe. Um,
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
what?
that's actually
Oh,
why what do you call it? A lot of the jungle creeps, they look like that one race from Half-Life. What are they called?
Yeah. I
yeah.
forgot.
Yeah,
Um.
yeah. Like I think Vortigons. Vortigons.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Pretty.
Mm,
the jungle creeps look like Vortigons. And it's so interesting because we're so early in the game that everything is jank as shit, right?
mhm.
But it still feels good as a game. And I can't wait to see the final product in a sense where like where the setting is like solidified, where all the systems are solidified. It's so early,
Mhm.
but it's
Yeah.
been so fun already.
It's almost like a complete game, to be
Dude,
honest.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
For
all
an
of
alpha.
the systems and mechanics are quite solid. Like
Mhm.
I like that they adapted the build system in Dota, where you can actually share builds and upload
Oh,
them on the
Yeah.
system so that people can just search your list and then look for the most popular one, and then at least you have that guide when it comes to like building stuff or buying shit.
Like,
Um,
dude, this game is changing so fast.
Mhm.
It like especially with the builds. The
Mhm.
builds are updated like on the daily. And
oh yeah,
like when we started playing, there was no wall jump. Now there's a wall jump.
Mm,
Like
yeah.
well,
it's super crazy.
like no, we played last night, and then the next morning there was just wall jumps and ropes. Like,
Yep.
whoa,
Yeah,
you just
oh
yeah.
put all
shit.
of that in. All right.
It's
uh,
interesting. And
mhm.
then I guess when it comes to like character balances or nerfs, there are some moments where we think that this guy's gonna get nerfed, but they didn't. And then we just like the more we play, the more we find out how they deal with abilities here in this
Yeah,
game,
yeah,
which is kind of crazy because if you think about it, in how like Valve designs their games,
hmm
like physics-based games or games like Team Fortress or Half-Life, how they deal with abilities here is cool because there's always an answer to every ability, and that's something that we learn as we play this game. Like for example, we were very troubled by the character Seven because his ultimate is
yeah.
too powerful.
hmm
But there are the more we play, we find out more answers to him. Like for example, we could use who's that hero with the gravity uh
Yeah.
powers? Like
Uh,
you can just ult her,
mhm,
uh, so that it will cancel out
mhm.
Seven's ultimate, or you could also use Frozone. So I call him
Frozen.
Frozone. Kelvin.
Yeah.
You can just ult Kelvin, so that you could like contain him, in the dome, in the ice dome. So stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty fun because you get to try out different things, and then oh, this thing works, I guess we'll try to find out, and then you just um discover that who's that guy with the hook, you can
Bebop.
actually, yeah, you're just going to discover that Bebop can actually attach bombs to creeps, and then you
Mhm.
can
Whoa.
uppercut them to your enemy,
Yeah.
and it will explode to them, so
Well,
stuff
that's
like
sick.
that. It's pretty interesting, and you can do
Mm-hmm.
that to your um allies as well. Like you can punch Seven,
hmm
and then Seven will ultimate
In the
in the
air.
back, yeah,
Yeah.
in the air. So that's kind of cool.
There's a lot of like expression and creativity with the skill sets of everything, and like the wide the wideness of the maps and how the physics work and stuff like that. There's a lot that you can do with it. But
Yeah.
let's talk about the characters. Talk about this pig man and the person riding on top of
Oh
him.
man.
Dude, like you want to know one fun fact about the giant pig man and the guy riding on it?
Yeah.
Mo and Krill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mo and Krill have two hitboxes
Mm-hmm.
for their head.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
Like
Really?
Yep.
You can
you
just
can
headshot him with the
headshot the
Yeah, you
pig.
little
can headshot
guy
either.
and you can
Yeah.
headshot the big guy.
Does
It'll
it
register.
stack?
Either or.
Holy shit.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's
I
a
don't want to play him anymore if that's the
dude,
case.
nah, the little guy's head is so small though. Like,
Yeah, but you can just shoot the pig.
oh
Yeah,
Then
no, you're
just
right.
shoot the big guy.
You're right.
yeah, I
55,
mean you
like,
get two head hit boxes. That's kind
oh
of a disadvantage.
Yep.
yeah, and the other
It's
one's super
hilarious.
big. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hi. What about the gelatin man?
Dude, the gelatin
Uh,
man. I
Flubber,
hate
hated
all
him
it
grown
so.
so.
up.
I love the gelatin
um,
man.
Yeah, dude.
I like
Remember
that
Flubber?
He'll
I like
just
that
turn
we're
into a cube.
describing
He's
the
him
characters
now.
instead of knowing their name.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Blue Hellboy, Gelatin
Frozone, the
Man.
pig, and the gelatin
Mm-hmm.
man. That's our
Uh,
comp.
Yes.
yep.
I play
Uh,
Spooky McFeet. hmm Spooky Foot Lady.
Vindictor.
That's what I
you're,
play.
not
you're
Ghost
touching
Knight,
upon
Ghost
another
Widowmaker.
aspect of this that is hilarious. The guides that our fans
hmm
submitted that you can access through the game. The fans or the writers of the guide can dictate like the text,
The name.
the name
Yeah.
Oh
of the
yeah,
guide.
yeah.
Yeah. So that is usually what was the Invicta guide that you saw?
Dude,
Our
dude, the fucking Vindicta guy that is the most popular is Sexy Feet DPS. And I'm like, fucking hell, it's a really good guide. But while I'm playing,
I mean,
on
he's
my
not wrong.
screen, it just says Sexy Feet DPS.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Jeez.
okay.
I saw
It gives
one
you strength.
for no McGinnis because McGinnis gun is really like rapid fire, and
Mhm.
it focuses on the gun instead of every other ability, and its name was Magunis.
That's great.
Yeah,
So good.
but yeah, so far Deadlock's really fun.
Deadlock good. Dude,
You
I think the
could
only thing preventing me from playing Deadlock every day is that right now, like, it's a good game. I would play it every night if I could. But the only thing stopping me is that there is no sense of progression yet because we're in alpha.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like I'm
That's
working
true.
towards anything.
Mhm.
Like, I want a ranked mode. I want, like, player levels. I want something that'll say that I've been playing for a while and, like, I'm gaining towards something, right? I
God.
want some sort of progression.
Absolute
Now that you
same. Absolute same. Like I feel like okay, I can try to master this, but I want something to show for it. Like
Mhm.
like I want
you
that like skins and shit like this and that. So it's
yes.
been that for me. And
Speaking about that one, like speaking about skins, like
Yeah.
this game is giving me a lot of Team Fortress 2 vibes. You think
We're gonna get
the first thing that they're gonna
hats.
add are hats?
I want hats.
We
I
need
want
hats.
I
hats.
would love hats.
Yeah, I would
And
love hats. I think
especially
the hat
this side.
economy will
Mhm.
revive with this game.
Hats and feet.
Mhm.
Hats.
Hats and feet. What if it?
Maybe
Oh
shoes
god,
for Vindicta, you know?
What
hats and
about
sneakers.
yeah? What about if they throw it on its head, and instead of hats, it just becomes feet, like feet meta stuff you put on
Feet
your feet.
hats.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
New
sandals.
shoes.
The
feet
Jimmy Choos. You got the
hats.
Jimmy Choos on.
You have a fedora, but for your tootsies.
What if the final unlock is you take off their shoes?
Oh, fuck.
Wah!
Oh, barefoot, and then movement
Vindicta's
speed
already ahead of the
plus
game.
100%.
Look,
I
you
know
take one
people that
damage per
would
step.
actually expire when that happens. They just poof into dust. What? And then
Like the emoji of I like that one and then disintegrate.
Yeah, dude.
Oh
In
god.
terms of progression, you can think about it this way because this is an honest to goodness actual alpha. Like things are changing every day. We get new patches almost every day,
yeah.
if not
hmm
more
Yep.
so. And it's not like some marketing bullshit where it's like, oh, it's a beta test, but it's technically the full game and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
This is an
Mhm.
actual
You can
alpha.
you can think about the progression this way. Like you're helping the devs figure out what's wrong and what needs to be changed
Yeah,
Seven.
to
that's
make
true.
for a better final product. Because that's the ultimate goal of this, actually.
But I want
Yeah.
number go up.
Hopefully there is a reward
Mhm.
Yeah,
upon
yeah.
release for people who have put like time into this, right? That
Mhm.
would be nice.
Mhm.
That would be nice.
I can't. I'm just waiting for the opportunity to say that I deserve to be in copper.
Dude, yeah.
Oh no.
Dude, it's probably going to be similar to TF2 because, like, I have a little badge in TF2 that says I am one of the idiots who paid for TF2 back when it wasn't free.
I mean,
Oh my god.
I have a
and
little
the orange
badge on my
box.
character.
And the orange box.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's
no.
cool. Yeah. The
Oh,
I
orange
okay,
bought
box
this
okay.
game
edition,
before it was
right?
free.
Nah, that's real. That's real.
Yeah, yeah,
You be proud of that patch. That's
That
I
that's
want, I
more
want something
real
like that.
than
Oh.
owning a physical copy of Fortnite on PS4.
Right? That's
Because you can show
Yeah.
that off in game.
crazy.
That's also a
Physical
thing
code.
in I think in CS:GO or CS2. Like you have like a 20-year vet coin
Yeah,
that
Oh
only
shit!
people who
Really?
bought it has it. It's crazy.
We'll at least get something like that, right?
yeah. Hopefully,
Yeah.
knowing Valve, they will.
Alpha tester or
An,
something.
an alpha hat.
Oh
Alpha
yeah.
hat. Yeah, yeah,
It's
What
just
does
like
that
raw
look like?
polygons.
Look at this
Can't wait.
fucking guy.
Oh yeah.
Moe and Krill.
God.
Goddamn.
You know the only thing that I like about Mo and Krill is the ultimate.
Yeah.
I don't like his other ability.
To me, it looks like this icon for the ultimate is a boot kicking someone's head. Like, what?
Yeah.
Could you explain what this
Wait,
is?
that
What
makes
is
sense.
it?
Yeah.
Yep, that is.
It's a
Because
foot
his ultimate
kicking
is
someone
he's
in the head.
slapping the bejesus out of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
enemy.
Oh, you
It's
hold
not even-
him. You hold him down, and then
Yeah, you hold him down, and then you.
And then
It's
Krill
pretty
kicks him in
hilarious.
the head.
Yeah.
Mo and Krill is the gangster version of slapping on the handcuffs.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
He
just
is the
Abbott and
handcuffs.
Costello.
He is the handcuffs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Oh man,
I enjoy
Deadlock
that.
good.
That look good. Like the
Yeah.
setting really good. It really speaks to me. Like the
Mhm.
merging of Arcane and like gangsta
Gangsta
city,
shit,
like New
yeah.
York. Yeah. And it's actually New
Yeah.
York, by the way. Like
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
really?
canonically
Canonically
New
New
York. Yeah.
Interesting.
It-
I
You know-
can't wait for the Netflix animated adaptation
my
of this.
God.
Bro.
Oh, dude, you know what? I can't wait. No, Emile,
Mhm.
I can't wait for Riot to adapt this new MOBA
What?
and make a Piltover Deadlock
Yeah, dude.
Really
clone.
distinct.
It's just Piltover stuff. Like
Oh,
we'll get
actually.
who's that? Who's those Piltover or Arcane only
Can echo and
characters?
shit.
Oh,
Actually,
you
just Arcane the game, but it's just
Yeah.
Deadlock.
The urban core.
I'd be down on that
They
shit.
can just
You make a
reskin
trip.
it, dude.
But yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'd play the shit out of that.
You know they're gonna do it. If this pops off, they're
Mhm.
gonna
Oh, yeah.
copy
They're
the
gonna.
shit out of
It's
this.
already
Oh, yeah.
popping off. That's
Dude,
the thing, too.
Vi
Bro,
can
they-
just be Bebop, right?
There were characters in
Yeah.
Arcane that were like, oh, that's a jobber? He looks very important. What do you mean his jaw is gold? Like, what the
Totally
fuck do you
original
mean? He's only got like 3 minutes of screen time. He's awesome. His jaw is full gold. What do you mean? Wala. Hindi siya importante. Okay. Huh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Man, can't wait. I'm excited.
wait.
I'm excited for
The
what
new world.
Deadlock has to offer.
Welcome
I
to
can't
the
just-
new world.
I,
Oh, no.
I can't wait for more cop meta discoveries.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What if they make a whole like faction of cops?
I think
So
they
your
already.
entire team is just cops.
Oh god! Like who are the cops in Deadlock aside from Abraham? Well, I guess
Abrams is
Warden's
like a
the
detective,
official.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Abrams
Abrams
like
technically
Seems like a
not.
detective.
private eye.
Yeah, he's like a
Private
Dick
eye.
He's a
Tracy.
PI.
He's a consultant.
I wa-
He's a police consultant. And that's how he
Yeah.
consults.
With his fist.
With his fist.
Oh, and
I
I
have a
noticed that his
question.
ultimate literally drops the book on you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Throw the book at him.
Uh-huh.
But also yourself.
Does that count as a self-destruct?
Also, Wraith could be like a hired mafia gun.
Wraith's so
Oh, yeah.
cool. Like
Wraith
Yeah,
is
Wraith
way
Yeah.
too cool.
her
I like
aesthetic
the design of Wraith.
so cool. Her and Lady Geists are like, oh, slay.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. This
Look at that.
God the
Monster.
the characters in Deadlock is really interesting. Like
Mhm.
you have all these gangsters and these slick
Mhm.
slick characters, and then Gargoyle.
Yeah, you got the freaks.
Suddenly
freaks, man.
Gargoyle,
A gargoyle.
dead woman.
Gargoyle, dead woman, slime guy.
Yeah.
Slime guy.
A gargoyle
That's
mechanic. Like
interesting.
I think the gargoyle is a car mechanic or some shit. Like he's got the mechanic hat on.
You
Yeah,
got
dude.
Yeah.
weebs, and you got
Yeah.
robot weebs.
It's such a great
Like
just juxtaposition that I don't think has been done in popular media. Like I've never seen. Yeah.
Dude. And you know this game is going to be a success specifically because there's already porn of it.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
It's done.
Rule 34,
Done
baby.
deal.
Dude,
Abrams porn?
there is
Fuck,
a
Mo and Krill.
there is an alarming amount of Rule 34 of the gargoyle. There is an alarming amount.
What?
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
Alarming.
You want me to search for it on stream?
No, no,
No, no, no, no, no.
don't search for it.
Don't call the Twitch police. We don't
Yeah,
need those
dude.
cops here.
Yeah. All right. I think that's my
Alright,
week.
let's go.
Like, I think this is so far that I can share. But yeah.
And I guess that brings us to the other Miguel.
Mhm.
What's been up
Alright.
with you, man?
Alright.
How are the
Time to
robots?
activate the all spark.
Oh, jeez.
All right, so I'm a bit behind on the gaming stuff
Mm-hmm.
because mainly the ZZZ has consumed
Oh,
most
see,
of the
right.
mobile game
Oh,
life.
that also happened.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
also happened.
Project,
The big
I have
new
that on my
MiHoYo
list.
project came out,
Mhm.
Mhm.
so that's really good. But that's like something easy.
The one with the web slinging.
Yeah, the one with the web slinging.
the web slinging.
What is the web
fucking
slinging app?
Genshin game?
Make it happen, Mihoyo. God damn it.
Yeah, dude, copy that one. But I guess the biggest consumed media that is new for me is Transformers One.
Oh,
Is
right.
out.
Oh, I wanted to hear about this. Yeah, let's go.
I want to
I
watch it.
that too. I watched that too. It was
And
good.
it's good, yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's
Right.
genuinely good. I was surprised. I've been hearing because like the content creators for the Transformer stuff, they've seen this like 2 months before already,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mhm.
they've just been under NDA. But they've all said like, "Oh, it's good. It's good. It's surprisingly good." But you know, fucking people in the fandom will defend anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like even though you have trust in them to say like, "Oh, it's good, so I'll check it out," but there's still that hint na it's
Might
because
not
they
be.
like the property, so you know there's still that level of bias for sure.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah,
our
Migs.
friend Chad, who's also Transformers Mark, like got early access to that the day before in like a premiere,
Mm-hmm.
and he
I
also
was
said it
there.
was good.
I was there
Yeah.
too.
And then Emile got in
Cool.
there somehow,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
I
we
was
know he's not a Transformers Mark,
Mm-hmm.
and he said that was good too. And like, oh, they got Emile? Holy
Dude,
shit! There's
it was
something in it,
so
man.
it was so weird because I walked in super blind. I didn't even know this movie existed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I walked in, like I walked into the theater, it was full of kids and full of families.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Oh, this is a kids movie." And then I looked at the designs of the faces, they were very kid friendly. And I was like, "Oh, it's a kids movie." Then I start watching, "Oh, wait, this is an origin story?" I didn't know that. And then I was like, "Oh, it's very kid friendly." And then as I was watching, I found myself smiling at everything. And I was like, "Oh, I'm enjoying it. This isn't just for kids. There's stuff here for me." Interesting.
Hmm.
Dude, they even shit on GoBots for a moment.
Whoa.
Dude, like they
They
cover a
do?
lot. Yeah, it was also a
Whoa.
really tasteful
Okay.
reference, I'd say, for the
Okay.
GoBot thing. Because it's like a throwaway line for someone being shitty. Like, stop being a GoBot or something like that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Just a really small throwaway line. You might even miss it.
Damn.
Actually. But it's
Okay.
really good. Like when the trailer for this came out, a lot of people were disappointed because it seemed very kid friendly and very jokey. Because like Keegan Michael Key's Bumblebee,
Mm-hmm.
he is the kid joke character. Like
Yeah.
all he does is jokes.
All he does
Uh-huh.
is one-liners that will make kids laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
that's a
it's
very Bumble thing. That's a very Bumblebee thing to do.
right, but it isn't ham-fisted because even the characters in the movie are like just ignore him. He talks a lot. So like they're
Mm.
aware that he's spouting nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
And like the art style is it's full CGI instead of the whole Bayverse live action thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So yeah, first impression would be like it's a very kid-centric movie, but in terms of like Transformers stories, it
Mhm.
covers a lot and goes like pretty far. Because you think
Interesting.
like it would end with the beginning of the conflict, right? Because of the whole Cybertronian war.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of gets there earlier than you'd expect.
Oh,
And I'd say
okay.
like
Huh.
I think the only downside is the lead up to it seems rushed. But the
Mm.
implications of that being there in like especially Megatron's character, I think is like well established because Transformers' lives are literally centuries. Like they age very slow. So they change a bit of the origins where Megatron isn't a gladiator anymore. Like everyone is essentially like a miner for Energon because there's a huge scarcity for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you could say that the betrayal and the level of hate stems from them being there for like hundreds of years, right?
Yeah.
So I'd say like it's justified in that aspect, and like they straight up go into how they become the characters that we expect them to be, and you see that like they have form changes twice in the movie
Yeah.
Oh.
for the big two, and
Uh-huh.
Oh,
we all
wow.
expected at least just one form
Mhm.
change, right?
Mhm.
And how they
Mhm.
lead up to those secondary form changes is very, I think, very cool and impactful for both characters and their respective like reasonings for everything.
Uh,
So yeah, also like they do Starscream's voice change in the movie.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Whoa.
Oh.
They
There's a voice change for Starscream.
Yeah.
they
So
they
he's
Really?
voiced
give it
by
a reason.
they give it a
Interesting.
reason. He's voiced by Steve Buscemi,
Interesting.
Yeah.
and he sounds kind of like Starscream already. But then, like
Okay.
when he fights Megatron, Megatron chokes him out, and then it
Oh,
starts to
cool.
warp during the fight,
Yeah.
Oh,
and it
cool. I
stays.
like that a lot.
That's
I like that
that's
a lot.
hilarious.
It's
Yeah,
tied
that
to
was a
his
nice reference.
hatred. Holy shit.
Yep. It's tied to his
Oh,
hatred.
yeah.
Yeah.
He
You know what?
sounds
Yeah,
like
that
that because
is
he was
true.
choked out.
Yeah,
Oh, I love it. That's really good, actually. That's a really
Mhm.
simple but good character thing.
Yeah.
So every time he
no,
Oh,
goes, you
man.
fuck you, Megatron. I'll kill you in your
it
sleep.
was him. He was the
Mhm.
direct cause for the whiny, slivelly
Love that.
voice.
Love
It's
that.
great.
Aye.
You
Uh,
think there's gonna be a sequel for this movie? Because if
dude,
it's
I hope
that
so.
good, I hope so. I hope they're
I
It
think
gonna.
they
feels
have
like it.
to,
Mm.
because this is like the new like rise for the Transformers brand again. Because even when the Bayverse movies were coming out, after the first three, there was a huge gap before we got 4 and 5.
Hmm.
And then the
Yeah.
quality
So,
of 4 and 5 was kind of, very
Yep. It
I
like
still,
depends. Yeah.
subpar and mixed.
I still, which one's last night?
5.
I still don't know. I
You still
still,
haven't finished.
I actually, I said the other day, I don't know. I still haven't finished it, but now I'm thinking maybe I have, but I just have no recollection because it was so forgettable. Like
Dude, for all you
I
know,
don't
Hank
know.
is still out there fighting.
will
That's true.
will they ever what's it called? Will they ever get out of fucking Hannibal Lecter's castle? I don't know. Like that's a thing that happens. I don't know. But yeah, this seemed really cool. Like this seemed like a refresh also, or like a how do you say it? Indeed, not a reboot either. Just a fresh reimagining. There you go. Is
It's
Mhm.
that
also a
correct
change
to
of
say?
setting because
Mm,
it's mostly like focused on Cybertron.
Yeah,
yeah.
no
That's
humans.
that's a
No
trilogy I
humans.
humans.
actually want to watch. No
Mm.
humans, just robots.
We finally got the movie where there's no humans.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I feel like we're getting a lot of these, like on a broader sense. I feel like we're getting a lot of these reimaginings as well. Like it's still the same characters, basic same story, but much different maybe. Like maybe you move the lens just wide enough or to a different part of it. Like I remember when I took a recent trip to Estonia, real place. Um, I watched the new Ninja Turtles Mutant Revolution, or what was it?
Oh,
Mutant
Mutant
Mayhem.
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 That's
That's good.
good.
Yeah,
That's
that's a good
good.
movie.
But
That's
very
really
like,
good.
oh shit, very different, huh? Okay, they're not their Moody Moody subs. Like I mean,
They're actual teenagers now.
they're
Yeah,
teenagers,
kids.
teenagers. Big focus on mutants. Okay, cool. I'm into that. I want to see more of that shit, like that weird stuff. Um, in the comics also, we're getting this. Like we're getting the ultimate line from DC, which is like, not ultimate, absolute. If you ever seen Absolute
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Batman,
yeah.
all that shit.
God, Absolute Batman is just Wilson Fisk. It's just the Kingpin
So I'm
that's
happy.
in the Batman costume.
Yeah, like
Like,
so
jeez.
Absolute Batman and Absolute the Absolute universe is basically the ultimate universe but for DC. And they
Oh man.
imagine them like so much, like for example, Bruce is an engineer. Like he just
Yeah.
knows how to make this shit for himself. So yeah,
Man, there's
I'm
a lot.
curious to
There's a
see
lot.
if
No, I'm just gonna add in. There's a lot of Bruce jokes and in this version of Batman because how is he gonna disguise himself as Bruce Wayne with
It's
that
just
type
so
of
wide.
He's so
Wide.
wide. Like there's only two people in Gotham that is as wide as Batman, Batman and Bruce.
Yeah, but he chops people's
Interesting.
hands off. Like his
Oh
bat
shit.
symbol is so thick,
It's an
it's
axe, right?
actually an
Yeah,
axe.
it's
Like
an
he puts
act.
like a
So
handle
good,
on it, and
so
then he chops
metal.
people's hands off. It's so vastly different from the source material, but also the same. So, I'm kind of curious. Like, have you observed this phenomenon also? That, or is this like something that's like, yeah, we're getting
There's
old, and we're starting to see like what media is geared
there's
towards, not
also
fans,
like
old OG fans of the show, but like geared towards like
New
grabbing new ones,
generation. Yeah.
yeah,
finding new
there's
ones.
there's also a reimagining of the Ultimate Universe for Marvel where they
Ooh.
actually rebooted the Ultimate Universe, and
Oh.
it's not as it's not as drastic of a change as it is if you knew about your heroes. Like for example, Spider-Man. Like the new Ultimate Spider-Man starts off with Peter being married and old,
Oh.
and then getting the
Oh,
powers.
Huh.
It's
okay.
really interesting. Like
Huh.
he's a
Age
family
them
man
up.
already, and then he had help with like it's a very different timeline. It's interesting.
he
And then
he's got to deal with back
uh
pain and shit. Wow.
it's gonna deal with family problems
Okay.
with the with kids, all that stuff.
Hmm.
So it's pretty interesting. So I actually want to read that because they had some very interesting like notes, like very interesting bits on the comic. Like most of the villains are now is friends. Like
Ooh.
Octavius helping out Tech. Also give like I think Green Goblin is like a sidekick for him or like a working they have a working relationship when it comes to crime fighting. So
Yep.
stuff like
Mhm.
that. So it's very interesting. Like it's like a Spider-Man story for us.
Mm.
Like for people who grew old already over the property. So
Mm.
it's interesting.
Yun. Yeah. That's just been like I've been curious about that. Like, okay. New completely new thing. Like
Yeah.
that's
I'm
phenomena's
liking
been
it.
been going on. Yeah,
Yeah,
awesome.
like keeping things fresh instead of just like I don't know, like especially on comics because
Mm.
comics is notorious about just like keeping it um like continuously over and over,
Yeah.
just doing the same stories or same tropes.
Mm.
So it is kind of refreshing to see all of these. Like this is like the time that we get to see the Ultimate Universe the first time.
Mm.
So
Going back to like Transformers, do you think we're gonna Earth at the next movie or
I hope not. I
I
hope
I
they
hope
don't.
genuinely
not.
hope not.
I
Yeah,
hope it's
because
just
okay?
like
Cybertron.
I hope
the
it's just
most
robots.
yeah, the most interesting part about the Transformers are the Transformers and not the people.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
like I think the only time that they made Sam Witwicky interesting is during the movies, or am I wrong?
I
Like,
do
is
like
he
Shia
very?
LaBeouf's character actually. I know there's a
Uh,
big hate for him, but I like the Even Stevens man.
Is
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, okay. Here's
Mm.
the deal.
Okay.
Next one, no humans
Mm-hmm.
except for Shia. What do you think?
I mean,
Shia
nah.
shows up on their
On
planet.
Cybertron.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Why?
Shia shows up
Ooh.
on Cybertron, and he's the only human.
Wow, this alien is not more than meets the eye. Like
Yeah,
he's
dude.
exactly as he is.
He's so squishy.
He can't transform at all.
Show us your transformation. What?
Curls
You have to
into a
wait.
ball.
You have to wait a decade for it to appear physically.
Yeah, dude.
What's your name,
Transform
human?
into an old
Ladies
man.
man 217.
I can transform into an old man in 80 years.
And then my superpowers will be knee pain.
Mhm. And then
Yeah.
eventually I will die.
I will develop an ability called dementia.
God, that actually sounds like a Transformers
Eventually, I
movie.
will self-destruct myself.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what
Alright.
Yeah,
humans are good at.
but rebooting franchises is not new, especially
Of
for
course.
very kid-centric brands.
Hmm.
Because I
Mhm.
think that's actually like a rule where it needs to exist for new generations each time.
Mm.
So that's normal. It's just seeing it done well is rare, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Especially for Transformers who have done this practically multiple times.
Yep.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just that it hasn't been done in this scale because a lot of the like direct to TV shows after the Bayverse movies,
Mm.
most of them sans the whole aligned continuity rule, which was like everything was loosely tied to each other.
Mhm.
Like the Bayverse, the War for Cybertron games, Transformers Prime, they were all loosely connected,
Mhm.
sans a few differences, right?
Mhm.
But they've since taken out that rule, and every iteration is now different, right?
Mhm.
So a lot of those, like some of them are good, but I don't think they've been this solid
Okay.
at the very least. And since this is the big blockbuster movie thing, right?
Mhm.
So it has all the eyes on it.
Mhm.
That it was really surprising at how solid this movie was. Like
Yeah.
I was very surprised at how much I enjoyed it, you know.
That's good. That
Same
that
for the Ninja Turtles thing too. I really
I was
like that
waiting
movie.
exactly for Migoy as my barometer for this actually. I would trust
Dude,
no
yeah.
one else. If Migoy liked it, if Migoy liked it, yeah. If
It's
Migoy
lit.
hated it, yup. There it goes. Right
Dude.
next to the Beast Wars. Like whatever it was.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I
The
haven't I
rise
haven't
of the
watched
whatever
that.
it was. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't
Yeah.
watched the Beast Wars movie. I hope it's good.
It's okay.
Oh, oh well.
There's humans in it.
Mhm.
Human.
Humans.
There's also a GI Joe tie-in that one, so that's weird.
Dude.
Oh,
Fucking,
yeah.
they did nothing with that too.
They did
Yup.
mention that the next live action, mind you, live action Transformers would have the Hasbro
I don't,
collab.
I don't even know if we're
I
getting
don't
that anymore.
know.
They're,
Yeah.
they're saying it, but I hope
They're
it's not.
saying
Like
it.
I hope we're just going with the cartoons. But I mean, with the
But
animated
to be
movie
honest, I would still
thing.
like to see another follow-up to that because I do still like the Peter Cullen live-action looking cool Optimus Primes, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But this needs to get a sequel, and like they
This
do
one.
allude to that because there is a mid-credits and a post-credits scene
Mhm.
for this.
Oh, okay.
And it's not like some throwaway joke like what the recent Marvel movies have. It's a
Okay.
genuine like setup for
Setup.
what we know is coming, which is the faction war, right?
Ooh.
Yeah. War for
Ooh.
Cybertron.
Yeah, because
Oh.
like the new thing here is also, you
Yeah.
know how the primes in the Transformers universe have been alluded to like as almost gods
Yep.
Mhm.
because we created all of the things, right? Each prime
Yeah.
created a different thing
Yep.
that birthed all of the Transformers. Here they are powerful, but they're people,
Oh.
like they're
Uh-huh.
They're like
living mortal
superheroes.
beings.
Okay.
And it's also funny because they have merch.
Okay.
So Megatron's
I'm a, I'm a
Megatron's
popsicle.
name is before Megatron was D16,
Okay.
and he's a Megatronus nut. Like he's a fanboy because he's the biggest and
Oh,
strongest one there is, yeah. And like
Okay.
I think
how
that's funny.
Optimus bribes him initially to go on with his Keenan and Kel schemes is like, I got this limited edition foil decal of Megatronus, and like, yo, that looks really pretty. You know what? Let's do it. And he
Oh,
fucking sticks it on his shoulder,
whoa,
and that
that's the
leads
Decepticon
Yep.
that
origin.
leads to the fucking branding because you can see in the trailer that Megatron has the
Yo,
like
Interesting.
engraved welded symbol on his chest.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's actually like a dishonor brand mark that the villain does. Like, oh, you're such a fan of Megatron, is that I'm just gonna brand this shit into your chest, you know?
Okay.
Mhm.
Whoa. That's cool.
So
Damn.
that
Okay,
also
Hi.
develops his character further into the very angry Megatron that we know. So it's
that is
really good. It
awesome.
covers a lot, and it's reasonably length. It's like an hour 40, an hour 50,
Wow.
Good
if at
movie
most
then.
2 hours.
Yeah.
Normal
Yeah.
movie length.
Short. Yeah. Feature length maybe.
Yeah,
Why?
it's not disrespectful of your time, which I do appreciate too.
Good. That's
Hopefully we get
good.
more, and hopefully this
Yeah.
causes Hasbro to back down on the overprinting of Magic cards too, to make
God
up for their
damn it.
loss of revenue.
That's the
Oh no. That's another like can of worms we have
what
to
a
talk
ripple
about.
in the pool that was. Like hopefully it
Oh
makes our
man,
other hobby better.
yeah, the things we love are all governed by one company.
Mm,
Jesus.
mhm.
Ew. Oh,
So yeah,
Me-
Transformers One good. If you can still catch it, it's been what 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
it's 2 weeks already. Shit,
It's been
I
2 weeks.
should watch it this
Yeah.
weekend if I can.
Came
Watch
out on
it,
the
dude.
18th. If
It's
you can
fun.
catch it, do it. Hopefully, we get a digital release soon. If you can't, very very big recommend from me.
I
It's
caught it on IMAX 3D with laser. It was very
Laser.
3D.
Oh, shit.
really
Yeah,
Laser
yeah, it was
Prime.
very.
Is it
3D.
worth it? Is it worth the extra moolah?
Dude, I don't know. I got in for free, so I I don't
Mileage
know.
may vary.
Mileage may vary.
Mhm.
I'll probably.
That's how I like Dark Phoenix.
Sponsored by Panasonic. Thank you.
LG, LG,
Philips,
LG.
man.
Philips, sorry,
LG pala.
Philips.
Oh no,
My bad. Sorry.
Philips man likes Dark
Mhm.
Phoenix. What God? I
Dark
forgot
Phillips.
how. I forgot our
Dark
Dark
Phillips.
Phoenix talk.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
It's amazing.
All right.
All right.
Robots.
And
Are
things
there any
about
Speaking
the
of robots,
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
oh boy.
Oh boy.
So if
Oh, boy.
the Migs has experienced the Warhammer from toys to life, right? Toy
Mhm.
to video game.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've also done kind of like that particular thing,
Mhm.
and it's extra funny because it's technically Gunpla, but
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Huh.
So another new game has come out recently, Gundam Breaker 4,
Let's go.
which is the Gundam model kits, but in a virtual space. And it's not like,
Ah,
oh, it's
okay,
just a
okay.
Gundam game. You're literally playing with parts of model kits in a fake
Cool.
MMO.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Gundam Breaker 4?
Yeah, Gundam Breaker 4. It's
It's like
like
Sword Art Online, the game, but it's Gundam. It's Gundam
yeah,
and
it's
Legos.
Gundam. It's build diverse if you want to link the anime where
Yeah.
it's a Gunpla MMO.
Uh-huh.
And dude, you can make so much stupid shit. It's amazing.
Yeah. I saw the creator posts. It's
Oh,
crazy.
dude. Somebody
Dude,
made a Gunpla that was just a hobby knife.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
I saw somebody make a gunpla that was just a dildo.
Oh yeah,
Like
Mhm.
I think my favorite one is just Hero Yui, but it's a Gunpla.
just actually Hero Yui.
Yeah, from Gundam Wing. And then they even recreated the to be continued pose of
It's
him
just
just
drowning in
floating
the
in the
water.
water. Yeah.
Somebody needs to make Delty's mom.
Oh man.
I
I'm
feel
I'm, I'm
like
pretty sure they
that's
got it.
already
Yeah.
been made because there are 3 Gundam girl faces in this.
Oh, really?
So
Oh.
yeah, and when I finally went online to play with my friend, he accidentally left the lobby open to public. And guess what? Every single random person that came in was repping some kind of anime girl.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it has to be.
Every time. It's like,
Fuminas, all the
why?
Fuminas in the
All the Fumina faces. Yeah.
yeah.
And yeah, what made this special is because Gundam Breaker has existed since like the PS3 era.
Mm.
Gundam Breaker 1, I think, was a Japan exclusive. I got to play the beta for it, the online beta test for it.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
I missed out on Gundam Breaker 2, which came out on PS3 and Vita in English, because that's when Bandai started rolling out their Southeast Asian English games,
Uh-huh.
right? As
Yeah.
opposed to just being Japan exclusive. And then New Gundam Breaker came out,
Oh.
and that was done with a completely new engine, so it had weird performance issues.
Mhm.
And they tried to make it more of an esport, so it was more combat focused and less, stupid customization playing with your
Creative, yeah.
toys.
Mhm.
Interesting.
And that kind of skewed the crowd away. But that was the only playable Gundam Breaker on PC. Everything else was
Oh.
locked behind consoles, mostly like PlayStation consoles too. So this being more of a sequel to Gundam Breaker 2 and 3 as opposed to New Gundam Breaker was what got everyone excited, because it's like
Ooh.
extremely casual. You can make broken builds, and like you
Yeah.
can there's enough customization where you can you can make a dildo, you can make a penis that just shoots like nukes and whatnot.
Wish listed. Sorry.
And what's cool about this was it's what blew people's minds is that you can finally put separate arm parts as opposed to just having one set of arms, because it used to be like head, chest, arms, legs, backpack, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
you couldn't have asymmetrical arm parts before.
Yeah. Now they have that unlocked.
Yeah.
I mean
I
that
guess
that they have that feature now.
yeah, you can have two separate arm parts now and have all their functionalities tied with it, right?
Oh man,
You can
it's
make like a
now.
big jerk arm and then a tiny little arm on the other one if you wanted
Oh
to.
dude,
Huh.
And you could also scale parts up and down up to like 300% either way.
Whoa.
So you can take a small high grade part and make it absurdly large.
You make a T-Rex Gundam.
Yeah.
Can you?
Dude, my friend made a Charizard and all he could do was
Oh,
slap.
sick.
Okay. Yeah, I saw that. Oh
Dude,
man.
it's insane.
I just
And
want my Gundam to have like, and then there's a beam
Wait.
saver fight, and he's just doing this with his
yeah,
T-Rex arms.
it's all like tied to animation locks and hitbox sizes, so it's still fair. It doesn't like make
God.
your beam saber large if you scale it up. The hitbox will be
Ah,
the same, so it's fine.
okay. I
But
thought you
it
could do
straight
some.
up
Mm-mm.
straight up doesn't care with their animations. Like you can have parts clipping into each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much like
just
it allows
freedom.
for that much freedom. So
Just
even
like
in
Yeah.
cutscenes, because in
That's so
cutscenes
much
you have
power
like
though.
story friends. So like you have anime characters like, oh, I specialize in SD Gundam, so his avatar is an SD Gundam, and they have canned animations for emotes, right? So he'll
Yeah.
cross his arms, and his tiny arms will just go into his chest. It doesn't care. It straight up
Damn.
doesn't care. Also, it allows you to put add-on parts. I think up to 12,
Okay.
and you can just stick like a missile pod in your butthole and then reposition it and scale it.
Classic.
So like
That's amazing.
it gives you access to attacks that you wouldn't normally have to if you're repping certain parts.
Mm.
And if you don't like it visually, you can just like clip it into a leg and scale it down to hide it. So it doesn't mess with your
okay.
aesthetics.
You still get the abilities, but
Yeah,
the
you do.
aesthetic
You
is
do. Like the
like
missiles will come out of your butthole if you're it
Love.
doesn't matter.
that's
It's
that's so great,
there.
dude. This game just feels like they got the concept of kit bashing
Mhm.
and they made it real. you know?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So it's actually helping. Like some people have done it where they conceptualize the kit in the game and then build it in real life.
Oh, wow.
That's
Okay.
great.
Because
So
outside
it
of the
can be used as a
functional
tool.
yeah, outside of the functional like add-on parts, you can straight up just put cosmetic parts too. Like, oh, put the Gundam V fin anywhere, and you can make it like large if you want. Say if you're taking it from a master grade or something, you can make a V fin like a chest plate to make it look like a Voltus 5 or whatever.
Man, it really feels like the devs saw what people were doing with the Soul Calibur character creator,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Yo,
Yeah.
we can do that."
You want a Kamen Rider? There you go.
Yeah, dude.
So
Man.
yeah, it's dumb fun. And what I also like is because the problem before is you could have cool looking parts, but they'd be associated with like a weaker mobile suit
Mm-hmm.
and therefore wouldn't scale well in terms of power level and playability. But here you get different rarities of every single part. And you can just like boost experience points into those. So you can make any part like viable for gameplay if you wanted to.
Oh man, that like the idea of the customization being tied to abilities is so interesting to me. Like having like an arm that does something,
Mhm.
like not just visually, but gameplay wise, is super duper interesting.
Yeah, imagine if you have Shenlong's arm. That's already good. Or do they do that? Like, do they like?
I know
fu-
that the Dragon Gundam and the Ultron Gundam are in here. I just haven't unlocked them yet.
I wonder if they function like each of their parts function as it is. Like,
They
if you
should.
have like a Ultron Gundam,
Like
your
a
arm
bit
should
over
like
here.
extend.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that'd be
It
sick.
should.
Bop.
If the part is associated with the attack, it should allow you access to that particular
Sick.
attack.
Mm.
Dude, can you imagine if Space Marine had the same thing? Like you my right arm is a blood angel arm and it thirsts for blood.
Mhm.
Just my right arm.
Oh
The
no.
big jerk arm.
Yeah, dude.
My
Yeah.
left arm is really old and casts dementia
Yeah, dude.
on myself. It's a debuff.
Oh,
It's
man.
also cool
I'm
how
seeing a
it,
lot
it
of cool
it functions
designs.
like the Gundam Divers anime, where
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
if you get a part associated with a particular like ability, like say the GN drives from Gundam 00, you straight up
Oh.
have the Transam super mode. in your
Oh, that's
toolkit,
cool.
and
Oh.
it gives you the buffs of the lore buffs where your attack speed is faster, your movement's faster, and whatnot.
They
Uh,
even they even incorporate some of those like power ups. Like for like, what if you have like Ariel's tech?
oh yeah,
Like, do they have
the
that?
gun bits is on the shield. So if you have the shield equipped, you just have that attack.
Cool.
Oh,
They
dude.
fly around and
Okay.
shoot things randomly.
I could
That's
see
fun.
myself creating a mobile suit that has Ariel's shield bits, and then you still have the new Gundam's backpack
Oh,
bits.
you totally can. And then
It's just full of bits.
I've unlocked the Keradim's funnels for the shoulders as add-on parts.
Mhm.
Ew.
So you
Okay.
can put them anywhere, and like you can even just have them floating beside you if you wanted to. Not
Oh,
tied to
okay.
anything, yeah.
Cool.
You can make it look as dumb as you want and still function in game. And it's
Interesting.
just a DPS race because you're it's a PvE mode. There's
Mhm.
no
Mm,
PvP.
yeah.
So
Ah.
you're just fighting mobs of dudes a lot of the
Oh,
time.
okay.
What's going on
You
with
Oh.
the
fight perfect
scale
grades as
here?
a
Like
boss.
I'm
Yeah,
seeing like
that's a perfect
a
grade.
giant.
Yeah, that's like a
1 to
super
60.
sized model kit. Yeah.
And they're just raid bosses like that. But also the
Interesting.
end game of this is you unlock EX special moves, which gives you like stat bonuses. So imagine the nuclear missile of the Physalis Gundam, but with
Okay.
0 cooldown.
Oh no,
And
that
that's your
is
end game units. Those anime girls were just doing that. All
Jesus.
I could see was a sea of blue explosions. And then everything's already dead. I've done nothing. So yeah, it's just a playground. It's playing with your gunpla, literally, you know.
Interesting.
And it's high time we needed this for a long, long time, years,
Oh,
years.
in chat, BRG podcast says 80% of builds online have GP02's shield for atomic bazooka,
For the bazooka.
and
And
you
you
can
can hide
hide
it.
shield so it doesn't even
Yeah,
clash.
you can just
Oh
make
my
it small
god.
and clip it into the chest so no one can see you have it,
Oh
and then
man,
you
Yeah,
just shoot
this
the
is
missile.
just giving me M-Bond trauma all over again.
I
Like,
do wish I miss
yeah, like
the
the
Maxi Boost on
yeah,
Gundam
the
versus gameplay.
the Gundam versus game. Like I think Chad from Raymaru and Aijan from Long Live Play uh played with us, Migoy and me. And then Migoy just keeps spamming the atomic bazooka for the GPO2.
Oh, I shot it to Ijon specifically.
Yeah, it's just whatever's in that it's canonically correct. It's just a nuclear blast.
Just a big blue orb, Dragon
Yeah.
Ball style. Yeah, Gundam
cool.
Breaker very fun. I'd say because Bandai pricing is kind of stupid, wait for a sale.
Okay,
Very
okay.
expensive right now.
Yeah, that's the thing about Bandai Namco products. Even on sale, it's just not enough for it
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
to justify it. But yeah,
it's 60,
I'll
70
wait.
bucks in pesos.
Namco.
Yeah.
So yeah, wait for a sale.
Yeah.
Then they do Bandai sales every now and then, so
Mm-hmm.
it'll eventually get on there. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's stupid dumb fun. If you like the tiny robots, this is how you do it. Make the dumbest shit you want and actually play with it.
Yeah.
So there. That's been
Cool.
me. Robots and robots and robots.
Robots the man. And I guess that brings us to just me.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like as far as what I've been doing, like I've been trying to catch up on the games. I've been trying to catch up on like the media and stuff like that. Dude, I'm watching Prison Break for some reason. Right? Right? Like that's a thing that I don't want to talk about because it's been really dumb.
No,
But
it's great.
is it?
Do it.
Is it? Is Prison Break great?
It's so
Fucking
good.
Yeah, dude.
is it, dude? I've been watching and like fucking. They spent like 4 episodes trying to unscrew a toilet, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Dude,
Because that's how it is.
Prison
It
Break is so
is.
iconic that whenever
Yeah,
Michael utters a word, I laugh immediately.
Mhm.
dude,
Like he
dude,
just says "Sucre," and then
dude,
so iconic.
dude.
So iconic. This Michael Schofield.
The Schofield stare.
Whenever
Mm.
whenever this fucking show just transitions to the next scene and it's rapid cuts of the prison, I just lose
Yeah.
my mind. It's like boom, boom,
And
boom, boom,
then
boom, boom.
the stinger.
Yeah, dude, it's
Oh
so
my god,
crazy.
so good.
But yeah, I've been watching Prison Break on my off time, but but dude, it surprised me so much. Like when I saw Stormare, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
that's just fucking God brand. That's just his God brand voice he's doing.
A
It's
brute,
like,
dude.
fucking,
God brand is a brute to us.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I've
So
been
good.
watching that. But as far as video games are concerned, I fell back into the Mihoyo hole. Um,
Oh.
yeah. The Mihoyo hole. It's horrifying. What do you call it? Somehow I managed to catch up on Genshin, so I'm trying to get up to speed with that. But the thing I've been really happy with is something called Zenless Zone Zero, Mihoyo's newest
Uh,
game. So it came out July 4th, and it's a little bit different from what your standard gacha game has been doing because it focuses on character action. Interestingly, like I it's like I love it so much for a lot of reasons that are kind of hard to get into. Like as far as the gameplay goes, like it's super duper fun, right? Web swinging,
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
what do you call
100%.
yeah,
sure, sure.
100%.
there's deep lore. There's deep lore on that, but
Mm-hmm.
it focuses on character action. So like a lot of like hacking and slashing and parrying and stuff like that. But what gets me about ZZZ is actually the animation, right? Have any of you seen like the animation of ZZZ? It's super duper interesting to me.
Yep.
Like
Oh, very squash and stretch.
yeah.
Oh,
Like
that's good.
ZZZ, as far as the style is concerned, is has been very
What is
like
it,
Explains the
Raffy?
web swinging.
for all of you audio listeners out there. Raffy is
Son of
now
a bitch.
playing the trailer for the wrong game
No,
because
no, the right game.
The
The
right
right game,
game.
Emile. This
let
this
me
should
I
have
bet
been
you
what ZZZ is.
I
let me
bet
give you
you dollars
guys
to donuts. The first 10 seconds of this game, you were thinking, yeah, he's got the right trailer.
Yeah,
no
dude.
not at
This
all
Mihoyo gave us the wrong game, chat.
Yeah,
dude.
They
they
bamboozled
entered.
us.
Yeah, they uploaded the wrong game.
They uploaded
to
the wrong files.
The wrong files.
to give our viewers and listeners some context, the ZZZ lore of Raffy is that on when this game launched, Raffy played this game, and for a good like 2, 3, 4 hours, we watched him,
4 hours,
and
dude.
then like 4 hours in, Raffy asks, "When do we get to the web slinging?"
Oh, this has
And then he went to the
features.
exploration part, and he thought it was this should be it, right?
This should be it. Should be where I get the web sling around the city.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, what the fuck are you talking about, Rafi? And eventually, through a lot of questions and answers, we find out that Rafi has been thinking that he's been playing Project Mugen. It's fucking crazy, man. Fuck? Dude, me and Prey for you were
Mm-hmm.
losing our mind in chat. We were like, what the fuck is this guy on about? What the it's so fucking
I
crazy.
kept asking bits and pieces throughout the game. I kept asking,
Mhm.
so when do we get to the Spider-Man stuff? Like here and there, but mostly it was ignored by chat. And then
Mhm.
they probably thought I was talking about definitely something else. I know I remember someone also replied, "Oh, that stuff is only for certain missions." Oh, so I put it in my head like, okay, I get it. If it's like it's a big mechanic, like
No.
I feel like it's a smaller game, like maybe it's reserved for a specific type of mission to load, and then you get only web swinging or whatever, like you're supposed to go. And then I saw like at the end of the playthrough, it was like, oh, exploration mission. Oh, this is it.
Oh
Web
man.
swinging
Oh
time, and
man.
then we get fucked.
But
Um,
yeah. That's
mhm.
Project Mugen, everyone. But
Mm,
specifically, I have been loving ZZZ
okay.
specifically because of its style and its animation and the amount of character that's in the game. The characters have a lot of character.
Wow.
Like, yeah. It's like for like it, ZZZ to me is so hard to talk about because at its core, it's a gotcha game,
Mm,
and I feel that like if it wasn't a gotcha game, I would be singing its praises like left and right. I'd be telling everyone about it. But since it is a gotcha game, there is that weird moral grayness to it of like because it like at the core of it, gotcha is a predatory business practice,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like there's no getting around that. But um I don't think I've ever shared this on the podcast that the fun I get from gotcha games is optimizing the hell out of it so I can get the most out of it free. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like playing it the optimal way so that I can squeeze all of the resources out of it in the most efficient manner. That's the fun I get from gacha games. But recommending that to somebody else who is not familiar with gacha games is kind of dangerous
Mm-hmm.
in a way that they can fall prey to the business practices that is the gacha and like end
Yeah.
up spending money where they shouldn't be spending money. Like I've always told myself like um if you feel that you need to spend money on a gacha game, don't. Only ever spend money on a gacha game if you want to. And if you do, never expect anything. Like that's always what I tell myself and I feel like that's the kind of thing I tell people when they try to get into gacha games. And with something so interestingly high quality as ZZZ. Like it's something that I want to talk about, but it's so hard for me to talk about because it is a gacha game. Like you guys
Mm.
ever get that feeling like with games like this? Like it's hard to recommend because of the business practice that's inherently within it.
I think for me, it's not the business practice, but like I guess in the case of Final Fantasy 14, it's just the commitment.
Ah, oh yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, there are types of games that I feel like it's hard to recommend because of one certain thing that might be a turn off to people.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think that's
yeah,
also dependent
Just
on the
morally.
game itself,
yeah.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
not just the morality, because
Mm.
it like the scumminess of the what do you call it, the genre or the
Mm-hmm.
business practice is highly, directly dependent on how the devs or publisher made it to be, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you can have something that literally you can play without any need to buy, like Zenless Zone Zero, because it doesn't stop you from playing, right? You can progress, albeit slower, if you don't put in the
Mm-hmm.
money for a premium character.
Mm-hmm.
You can play it honest to goodness by itself and still get like a lot of enjoyment out of it. Or
Yeah.
say you can
Yeah.
go the opposite route where um it actively stops you from playing it until you shell out money for more energy and whatnot. Or like say this game mode is nigh impossible unless you spend money on like the premium power-ups that will make it significantly easier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, that's sort of where I get the enjoyment out of gacha, like I said earlier, optimizing the shit out of it so I don't have to pay, right? Like figuring out how to get past these challenges without paying. But like it's just so hard to talk about. And from a creative standpoint,
Mm.
like gacha games in general, this is kind of what I wanted to talk about
Mm-hmm.
was that like it's such an interesting conundrum because like this business model is like has historically allowed interesting creative endeavors to exist. Like the I mean ZZZ is a great example because one look at the animation and you're like, "Yo, that's money." Right? That's a lot of money that they poured into this animation. It's amazing looking. And historically that's always been a thing. If you look at any um what's a good example? If you look at any Fate Stay Night animation, right? Like all of their movies, the animation is bonkers insane, and that's gacha money, right? And the amount of money they make from this business model allows them to create interesting creative endeavors like that. But to me, it's always like, oh man, like how do you talk about that? Because it's such a predatory business practice, but it allows like
Mm-hmm.
interesting artists and people to create art like this. Like it's such a like I don't know how to feel about it is what I'm saying. Like I suppose, right? What do you guys think?
I think also again it's dependent on how they make said business model, right?
Mhm.
Because you're talking about the games that are practically fair and generous when it comes to the gameplay loop and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
then you
yeah.
have the outliers, like say in chat, Gundam Breaker Mobile was
Mhm.
mentioned,
Mhm.
and that like apparently is it hard stops you unless you put money into it.
Oh
Or
God.
say my most recent one, which is a Monster Hunter Palico Match 3 game,
Hmm.
Oh, wow.
and that presents you with certain puzzles that are virtually impossible unless you buy power-ups.
Oh God.
Mhm.
That
Okay.
unless you get incredibly lucky with your like jewel drops to match, you will
Mhm.
just lose and lose and lose.
Yeah, and
Right?
I think like ZZZ is like represents like this interesting positive direction for gacha games because like as somebody in chat says,
Mhm.
what you call it, ZZZ is no less fun when played totally free to play. And like there can be that FOMO feeling of like, oh, I want the premium characters. Oh, I want the role. Oh, I
Mhm.
want to spend on this thing so I can have the shiny new thing. But
Mhm.
if you do play it free to play, it's just as enjoyable, right?
Right.
But what a lot of people don't remember, I suppose, is that gacha used to be so much shittier,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Like ZZZ is amazing in my book because I can just play it free to play totally,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
Um, I'm not too sure how many people will remember, but like I used to play FGO, Fate Grand Order, and in order for me to progress the story, I needed energy. That's crazy, right? In order to just play the story, I need to wait 3 days to replenish my energy to get
Is
through the
three
whole
days.
chapter. Yeah,
Mhm.
dude. Like
Wow, 3 days.
to
Holy
get
shit.
through an entire chapter, I probably need a week's worth of energy, right?
No.
Like
Okay.
Interesting.
No, I know. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah,
see.
yeah.
I
That's
see.
crazy. And like I think gacha games have evolved to a point wherein like it doesn't gatekeep you from the content anymore.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like which I think is nice. Like I think ZZZ is doing it well.
Mhm.
Like they have so many interesting ways of storytelling that it doesn't gatekeep you from.
Mhm.
So I it's such a complicated topic for me because I love it so much, but it's so hard to talk about. But yeah,
You
that's yeah.
you say the gotcha games have evolved past those tactics, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
as
yeah, yeah.
Some
someone
of them.
playing Warhammer Tacticus,
Oh,
a
that's
game that
Oh
different.
God.
a game that came out post pandemic.
How bad is it? How bad is it?
It's
I've been
bad.
playing
It's
for a while.
Yeah.
A while. I only have 100 energy. Like
Oh my god.
and
How many missions is that?
each mission is 6.
Okay. Okay.
that's not
So there
bad.
It's
are still
very
gacha
bad.
games out there who do that.
They're out there,
Yeah.
and
They're out there.
Warhammer and Games Workshop, like I guess to touch on like the subject of how it's hard to talk about and recommend stuff that have weird practices. Games Workshop is also part of that. Like Games
Oh
Yeah.
Workshop,
yeah.
it really strikes me as a very anti-consumer, like
Oh
a
yeah.
very
Yeah.
non-consumer friendly uh company. Like
Like
their stuff is overpriced to shit. Like
you
and
got to remember,
mm,
like they're not a games company. They are a miniatures company first, and they will
yes.
do everything in order to get as many sales in
Mhm.
Yeah.
one
Recoup
particular
as
They
thing.
much
gotta sell you that
revenue.
plastic, man.
That's kind of why I was a little gun shy like earlier on, like recommending people jump into a game or jump into a thing
Oh
first,
yeah,
like because there are free versions of this, and Games Workshop is kind of like that, yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
like
They
That's
cover.
why I
until
recommend it.
mm,
That's why I recommend getting on demos first
yeah,
before jumping
Yeah.
on the gun on
yeah,
that
yeah,
one.
yeah. Because they will not make it easy for you to jump in with easier money in. That's not what Game
Hmm.
Shop do, baby.
Nope.
They get
Dude,
you.
You
uh
think guilty is cheap? Nope.
no, that was the
It's
cheap. It
They'll
not.
was
game
cheaper
you.
than the idea. But yeah,
Yeah.
what was it? To up until we checked like 2 weeks before Space Marine came out. Space Marine 2 came out. We checked Space Marine 1, the remastered version. It was so for reference, Space Marine 2 costs 1,950 pesos. Right?
Hmm,
That's
mhm.
around $20. Uh Space Marine
$40.
what did I say? Was that Space
One
Marine
nine.
Space Marine 2
Ooh,
was
yeah,
1950.
yeah,
Space Marine
$40.
1 2 weeks before launch
Oh
was
yeah.
1990.
Oh my
Like,
god, it
Crazy.
costs
Yeah.
more.
They're banking on
What
it,
the fuck?
dude.
Why?
The
put
older
it on
games
They're
cost
sale,
banking on it.
bro. Like,
more.
you want people to check out the new game, put it on fucking sale. Like, yeah. Mm.
Man, it's such a complicated topic because
Mm-hmm,
like
mm-hmm,
fucking like like the reason I say it, like there's somebody in the chat that made a drug analogy.
mm-hmm,
It's interesting because
mm-hmm,
like me, I have self-control
mm-hmm.
and I am aware of the business practices,
Right.
which makes it totally fine. But
Mm.
not everyone has that,
Right.
right?
Right.
Not
Yeah.
everyone is aware of the nuances of the practice or the business model, and they can fall prey to it
Mm-hmm,
because, like, you get reports all the time of like, even like, not even addiction, but
mm-hmm.
like, even just kids who don't understand the numbers on the screen, who end up buying with their parents' credit card, right?
Yeah.
That can be a problem too,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
So that's what gets me about it because I'm enjoying the fuck out of ZZC. It's so fun. It's so stylish. It gives me all the feelings of like a great character action game, plus like all of the aesthetics of Jet Set Radio and like The World Ends with You, that kind of nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
It has all of the elements that I love. But at the end of the day, it's a gotcha game, so I have to be careful who I recommend it to. Because if I recommend it to somebody with an addictive personality who does not understand, I would feel kind of responsible of like,
Yeah.
oh shit, they're spending too much on this game.
Mm-hmm.
I have to educate them. That's the feeling I get about gacha at all times. I feel like I need to educate people about gacha so they can enjoy it responsibly, which is
Yeah.
a weird sentence. Like, I hope you
That's
can
valid.
enjoy this free experience responsibly. Like, it's so weird to be talking about a game like
Mm.
that because like um it's along the same lines of like fucking drink responsibly or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's out there, it's legal, but like you gotta teach people how to consume it.
Mm-hmm.
Like teaching people how to consume it is so strange because I want to celebrate the art that has been made for this game. I want to celebrate like the animation techniques they're using
Mm-hmm.
that you don't see in other games a lot of the time. A lot of the squashy, stretchy stuff that you see, it's very dynamic. It's so cool. I want to talk about that, but
Mm-hmm.
like suddenly, gotcha. So
Mm.
yeah.
I,
All
I
that to
think.
say, I love ZZZ.
Oh yeah. I,
Mm.
if I may, like, I mean, I feel like there's I think that's the way to do it though. Like,
Yeah.
you say how hard it is to recommend, and this, like, I feel like you're doing it right there. Like, when you talk
Okay.
about it, you're not just gonna jump into like how you just blind recommend everything like without nuance. I think having that conversation first is important, and having that conversation kind of normalized. Like, I know it's weird to talk about a free video game, like a video game, a digital piece of content, in a way that you would a substance, or like a highly
Right.
addictive substance. But it is
Hmm.
what it is, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it is an addictive substance to some people, and when people
Hmm.
fall down that rabbit hole, they fall hard, and there are actual real world consequences, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So I feel like, even though there isn't like a perfect way to do it, I guess that, like, that right there was more, that was the way it should go. Like,
Cool.
having that first is important, because it's a weird world now. Like,
Oh, it is.
yeah, like, now we have to do this, and yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's true.
consuming like this stuff without and like, people just do stuff for the money, and like
Hmm.
and people
Yeah,
just, it's
dude.
just so accessible for stuff right now. It's turning into, now I'm turning
Straight
into
up
a gripe of,
predatory.
I'm turning into a old man griping about the world right now. But yeah, no, I just wanted to say that that should be the way it should be handled, like some form
Cool.
of that, if not that itself, like having that
So
nuanced content. Mm-hmm.
So to bring it to something more traditional, I suppose,
Mm-hmm.
like I've also been playing another game,
Okay.
and for 250 pesos only, you
Hey.
A
too,
burger.
you too
A Big
can
Mac.
suffer in fear and hunger.
Hey, yo.
Let's go.
I've been playing a lot of Fear and Hunger. For any of you guys that don't know, Fear and Hunger is
I don't know.
wild ass video game from Finland that came out in 2018,
Really close to
right?
Estonia, by the way.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, okay. Estonia is real.
Real.
Don't forget.
Just a boat over.
So Fear and Hunger is like this crazy like indie game, mostly made by one person, and it got released in 2018, and no one paid attention to it. And
Oh.
in the last 2 years, it blew up because of YouTubers. Specifically
Yep.
people like Super Eye Patch Wolf, I believe Connor VA, also promoted it, and like a lot of people have sung its praises, and it is widely known as the most brutal RPG in existence, not just from a gameplay standpoint, but from a theme standpoint. Like it touches upon really touchy topics to the point that I think Fear and Hunger 1 is actually not a category on Twitch anymore.
Whoa.
Like
Oh,
only
Why?
Fear and Hunger 2 is a category on Twitch, because I
Oh.
think Fear and Hunger 1 is a little bit more graphic and
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
like
You need the mod to actually
you need
censor
a
that
mod. You need a
because
Wieners.
if
mod
you
to
play it,
actually
if
Really?
you
like
play it raw dog, it's just
Yeah.
dicks all over the place.
Big
dude,
wiener to the
Oh.
screen.
the
Yeah.
first 5 seconds into the game, you will see a penis.
Hmm.
Like no
Yep.
matter what you do, you will see a penis.
Say
If you
less.
survive the wolves.
Yeah.
Say less.
So, what is Fear and Hunger about? You select one out of four starting characters, and you go into the dungeons of Fear and Hunger. It's a really berserk inspired universe, I would say. Like
Mm.
literally, like one of the characters is Griffith. Literally, one of the characters is Casca. Right? There's a lot of
Yeah.
parallels from the berserk story that
Mm.
make its way in here, but and even the setting and the story, because all four characters are trying to find this dude in the dungeon named Legard, who used to be a captain of a mercenary group, and he's being tortured. You got to rescue him, right? That's literally one of the chapters of Berserk, right? Um, but the whole thing of it is you need to go in there, you need to rescue him, and there's more stuff, even more. And basically, it presents itself as a traditional RPG,
Mm.
but very fast you learn that it is not a traditional RPG. It is from my perspective, it's more survival horror than anything else, because it's more about resource management and learning by experience. Because each run in Fear and Hunger will teach you that this is not a good idea. This, like, you should not do this, you should do this. And I think the biggest point in Fear and Hunger that illustrates this the best is that when you fight a monster and you win, you get nothing.
Yeah.
You get no experience. Sometimes you get no
What?
items. You get
Holy
nothing.
shit.
You get absolutely nothing for fighting this dude. For most encounters in the game, there is no tangible benefit to fighting. Like the only thing you get from fighting is injuries, like, which is the worst. And like Migs specifically watched me play through this game for the first time because I was
Oh
streaming
yeah.
it in our Discord,
I enjoy
and
it.
oh, dude, it was just massive suffering, right? Like my first run through the game was just me learning the ins and outs of the game, and it
Hmm.
was such an interesting experience because you, as a character, you don't get experience, but as a
Mm.
player, you get experience. I think that's what's so
Ah,
appealing about it.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
So,
yeah, just to add to the punishment that you expect in this game, like getting like in traditional RPGs, you see a chest, you get an item. In this game, you see a chest, you flip a coin, and depending on the result, you get a good item or a bad item or even nothing. So
mhm.
it also applies in save spots and resting points.
Dude, it's so
Like
crazy.
there is one I think you should tell the story because
No, dude,
it's really
like this one time, I made so much progress, and then I found a bed, and I'm like, yes, a bed, I can save. I go to save, and then the game flips a coin, and I'm like, oh, fuck, what? It flips a
What?
coin, it lands on the wrong thing because you
Mhm.
have to call you have to
Heads or
call the
tails.
coin flip every time, heads or
Yeah.
tails,
Huh.
and it lands on tails. I call heads, and then I wake up in the middle of the night, and a monster attacks me, and he chops off my left arm,
Well.
and I run away. And for the rest of that playthrough, I don't have a left arm. I can't equip shields anymore. It's like
Oh,
fuck, dude.
cool.
This is like
Yeah.
this is the worst.
It is
And
an interesting game, but
yeah,
also a punishing game.
it's super punishing. It's super interesting, and like there's just so much lore. I think that's the big pull, the lore of the game, because it like it presents itself in such a non-direct way that you really have to go out of your way to look for the lore and look for the story. And it's that very Dark Souls-esque feeling of you piecing together the story yourself. Like it's super interesting in that respect. And if ever, I think the biggest experience for me while playing Fear and Hunger was that so I was trudging through this game, right? Migs was watching me. I was learning what do you call it? Every time I made huge progress, I would die and I would have to restart from my last save point. And then I finally made it to the dungeon where Legard was needing to be rescued, right? So I make it there. I find him, and he's dead.
Oh.
He's super dead. Like this isn't like a major spoiler or anything like that. Like I think this is just something I want to share because it was an interesting experience learning about it. Because I make it down there and he's dead, and I'm like, oh, okay, that has to be the way it's like is, right? So I escape out of the dungeons of Fear and Hunger. The credits roll, and then like it's ambiguous. It's like, oh, was there more to it? So having finished the game, I look it up and I'm like, okay, are there more routes I can do, things like that? And then one of the first things I find is that it says, in order to rescue Legard, you have to make it to him within 30 minutes
Eh?
of your run starting.
Eh?
And I looked at my save file. I made it to Legard in 8 hours. And I'm like, what the fuck? And
That
then
is
I
too late.
yeah, and then I fucking realized I was like, okay, that sounds impossible. That sounds impossible to get to him in 30 minutes because of all the shit I went through. But then I realized all the shit I went through, I learned how to speedrun the fuck out of this dungeon. So I start up a new save file and I make it to Legard in 15 minutes. And
Damn.
just
Oh
that
shit.
feeling of like everything I've learned so far has contributed to me knowing the ins and outs of this place enough that I can navigate my way safely to him in less than 30 minutes. It's amazing. It's amazing. Like I don't think there's been an experience like it I've ever had of just that feeling of like, oh, this item does this and this item does this. I picked up this so I can do this and I can cross over it here and it'll save me time to get through here and I want to avoid all of these fights so I don't have to deal with this. It's a really interesting experience and I kind of want to like squeeze everything I can from it because like the Legard thing I mentioned, that's like just half of the game. Like you could delve even deeper into the dungeon to learn more
Yeah.
about the lore and everything like that. Like that's the halfway point. And it just blows my mind how this little indie game from Finland kind of like created this whole like universe that everyone wants to explore. And I kind of can't wait to play Fear and Hunger 2, but I kind of want to squeeze everything I can from Fear and Hunger 1. Like like I want to recommend you try this, Raffy, but it's so hard to stream because of all of the penises.
How do
Yeah.
people get around the penises?
There is an anti-penis mod that
There we go.
replaces all the penises with
Anti-penis
acorns.
mod.
There we go.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
Penisophobia. Yep, got it.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I think this game I enjoyed watching it rather than playing it. I enjoyed watching someone play it guess it's I don't know. There's something about backseating this game that is appealing to me.
Dude, yeah, you
And
guys
it's
were backseating the shit out of me, and I was enjoying the hell out of it too because I was like, no, 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 I gotta do this, and then I gotta do this, and then like, it's so interesting because sometimes you get so panicked that you run through a place. Oh, I gotta run, then you step
yeah.
on a rusty nail, and
Oh.
because I stepped on a rusty nail, and because I don't have any more herbs to cure the infection, I'm gonna die in 5 minutes.
Well.
Fucking yeah, 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 yeah. Shit like that happens. And I think the one thing I didn't mention is that every time you start this game, everything is randomized.
Ah.
Yeah.
Every
Procedurally
box
generated.
you no, 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 it's not procedurally generated.
Oh,
Um,
there's set
all of the layouts
paths.
of the dungeon are handcrafted layouts, and I think it cycles through 5 layouts of the dungeon, so
Ah,
you
okay.
can't really
Okay.
rely on that. But the only thing that's truly random is the loot drops you get from
Okay.
inspecting
Mm,
crates, inspecting stuff, and sometimes even inspecting crates and stuff like that. It's also a coin flip whether you get something good. So it's a game of what do I do with the resources I have this run. It's really interesting once you learn that about the game, and for me it's been a really rewarding experience of true survival horror because like a lot of survival horror these days don't really do the whole resource management thing anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's become more actiony these days,
Mm-hmm.
and I think um just the whiplash of like it being presented as an RPG, but realizing that it's actually a survival horror is really really interesting. I fucking love Fear and Hunger. Would you ever play this, Rafi?
Oh, sure. We get past the dicks, we're good.
Yeah,
that's a lot of dicks,
good.
man.
We just gotta
That's
figure
just a
out
lot of dicks.
what do you do about the dicks. I'll be on it. Like I heard,
But
I started listening to Versus Wolves.
mhm.
And then this was one of the things that they recommended. And when I saw I didn't listen to the specific Fear and Hunger episode because this is a thing wherein the hosts like recommend one thing to each other, like Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, and then I think that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
I think that was the thing for this. Like they recommended Brazilian Jiu Jitsu and Fear and Hunger, I think, or something like that. And
Oh
when I
yeah.
saw this for the first time, like I thought kasi experiential, like Brazilian jiu-jitsu is experiential, like Wooly had to really go out there and learn. I thought
Yeah.
the other one was like, oh, you become fearful and hungry for a day, like
No, no, no.
I didn't
Go
know it
out
was
and
an
starve.
actual game.
It's an actual game.
Oh,
Dude, like it's super interesting. Like all of the characters are great.
mm,
You're lucky that there's a penis mod now, because
nice.
like a lot of the initial content creators had to blur the penises out themselves, like
Oh,
manually, if they wanted to make content on this. And I'm not sure
did,
why it's no longer a category on Twitch, but Fear and Hunger 2 is also a category on Twitch.
mm,
And I hear that it's like a much improved version of this game because this game's janky as hell. Like
It's also old.
it's also old. It's like 6 years old at this point.
Mm.
mm-hmm,
But I've been having a blast with it. And I know that you can enjoy Fear and Hunger 2 without having played Fear and Hunger 1. But I think you'd get a lot more enjoyment out of Fear and Hunger 2, probably,
mm-hmm,
because you'd probably know a whole bunch more lore if you played Fear and Hunger 1.
mm-hmm.
And the only dangerous thing I'll talk about when it comes to Fear and Hunger is the themes. Like, uh they do not pull the punches on the themes.
Oh,
Like there's blood, there's gore, there's trauma, like all sorts of traumatic experiences are explored, like which can go to very very heavy stuff like suicide, that kind of thing, unaliving.
mm,
So like be careful if that kind of stuff does not sit well with you, because this game does not pull its punches. And contemplate in the chat is right, Rafi. There are spiders with dicks. No, there
oh.
are
Yeah, I
spider
was
dicks,
about to
Rafi.
say
No.
there are
Wait a
like
second.
not safe
Hmm.
for Raffy stuff in
All
this
right.
game. I think in the whole franchise. I don't know.
Yeah, but I would say the spider dicks are few and far between, and they are static images, so maybe there's no surprise element there. So I don't know. Just
I
like
don't know,
He
ZZZ.
man.
understands. He
But
understands
yeah.
my phobia well.
Yeah. just like ZZZ, like this is one of those hard to recommend kind of games, but for a completely different reason. The reason being,
Spider Dick.
it's super punishing. That's number one. Number two, spider dicks.
Uh-huh.
Number three, what do you call it? Sometimes the themes cannot. You
It's
can't
not
just
kid friendly.
say. Yeah, it's not friendly to your average viewer, right?
Hmm.
Like it's a really enjoyable experience, but it's hard to recommend because of the themes and how punishing this game is.
Yeah.
So
What
just
what
like ZZZ.
yeah. Honestly, what you
Oh,
just said is I need to download two mods.
Yeah.
oh,
At
yeah,
least
yeah,
two
yeah,
mods
yeah.
for this. Uh
Anti spiders and anti dicks.
when it gets to us the spider dick one, like is it just a blank space in the programming where we just see the ones and zeros? Like he
Dude.
took away all of them. Like what do we do?
It's all data now.
Oh, and there's one last part I'd like to touch on, even though
Go
it's
for it.
not like a major focus of the game.
Yeah.
Like the battle system is so interesting
Mhm.
because it presents itself like, dude, it's a fucking RPG maker game, right?
Mm.
And if you're familiar with the trappings of an RPG, you will fall into pitfalls. Like you will make mistakes because of what you think you know about RPGs. Like for example, you're fighting a dude, you're one on one. Sounds like even stakes. It is not even stakes because
Mhm.
every body part of that opponent will make a move. The right arm will attack, the left arm will attack, the head will headbutt you, the torso will tackle you, the legs will kick you. So it's a 5-on-1.
Right.
The penis will attack you sometimes.
Ah,
Yeah. Sometimes the penis will attack you. So there's that.
but I want
But
that.
I think
Ay.
the most interesting part about this game is that it solves a problem for me with RPGs I've had for a long time and like really leans into it. For a long time in RPGs, I hate how status effects are an afterthought.
Mm.
Like status effects in RPGs have always been an afterthought for me because oh poison, oh you get poisoned, oh there's an antidote, that kind of thing. And as a player, like I've never felt incentivized to play with status effects because most bosses are immune to status effects, and that
Yes.
sucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But this game, I feel like whoever created this game saw that, and they were like, what if we made a game that was all status effects?
Oh.
Where
So does
status effects were the most important thing.
does that mean that you hate status effects now?
Yeah, I mean I do, but like it's
Because
great
this
that status effects have been utilized to the maximum in this game. If I get infected, I could die in 5
yeah.
minutes walking around if I don't have an herb to heal that.
Sick.
If I get attacked by a cleaver, I lose my arm. That's a long-term status effect that I will never be able to reverse unless I do some voodoo nonsense.
Dude,
Oh.
that
If
nail in the board
Yeah, dude,
actually fucked you up in that
dude,
run.
dude,
You basically got infected.
it's the absolute worst. And like there are even some things like some things you didn't see, Migs. I was walking around, um, and I found a bear trap. I laid down the
Mm.
bear trap, then I
Then
accidentally stepped in it.
yeah, yeah.
Oops.
I lost my legs.
Classic.
And
Foisted
for the
by
rest
its
of
own
that
petard.
Fresh
run,
food.
for the rest of that
Crawling on
run,
the
I could
floor.
no longer walk. I had to crawl.
Oh,
It's
the
like
biggest wasting.
it status affects the game.
Mhm.
So, like, as far as the battles are concerned, which I think is great because RPGs don't utilize status effects enough. And this game puts a spotlight on status effects, which is super great. Super duper great.
Tell me true.
But,
Dick give you crabs?
uh, maybe. Some dick, maybe. Some
Some
dick.
dick give you crab.
Some dick give you crab.
Wow.
Some cooch give you crab.
Hey yo.
Yeah.
You're coaching this?
There's cooch in this. There's also boobs in this. There's a lot of like nudity in this game.
Like a Kermit Joe.
Like it's a very graphic game, but I super duper enjoy it, and I would recommend it to anyone who has the stomach for it.
I'm just gonna
And
watch.
and yeah, I think that's mostly it for me. Besides the other thing I got into, which is fitness. I've been running a lot. Like I've been like just running. Like I fitness. That's it.
Sick. Health,
Health, fitness.
feet, legs.
hmm I've been into training my feet.
Avoid bear traps.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's everyone's weeks.
Sick.
Nice.
Whoa.
I mean, healthy
We got
because of
there.
running.
We got
Also,
there.
add on to Transformers 1, Raffy, warning, Arachnid is a character in that.
Oh,
I mean, it's a robot spider. I think he's
Yeah,
okay
but
with it.
there is at least
Oh.
one moment, right, Emile, where
yeah.
the crawling
Skither.
is very
There's
intense.
one skitter and surprise moment, but hey, since she's a robot, no hair. No
Have the
hair.
legs, though.
Okay.
I like how Raffy's just nodding. What's he doing?
When I Kermit jammed, I
Yeah?
stopped my recording.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
Okay,
Sorry,
okay.
everyone.
Amazing.
What do we do with
Amazing.
this?
You want to do a
sync
3,
again?
2, 1 sandwich?
I restart my I restarted my recording a while back. Do you want to do a sandwich now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah.
In
Let's
the
do a
same
sandwich
file,
now.
it's there's gonna be
Yeah,
a
yeah.
gap, so okay.
Okay,
I'll just take
Three.
note of the timestamp. So
Okay.
everyone.
3, 2, 1.
Sandwiches.
Sandwiches.
3, 2, 1. Sandwiches.
Sandwiches.
Okay.
Amazing. This is wow.
Sorry.
3 sandwiches is
Mhm.
a record.
Wow.
3 sandwiches is a record. But hey, this is one of the longest episodes we've recorded in a long time.
We're so
And
back.
we are so
We're-
back.
We're
So
so bad.
back.
And
No.
if you guys recall, after the weeks, we gonna wreck it. We have
Yep.
to wreck
We
it.
gotta wreck it.
Wrecking it is something we do. So if you boys have any recommendations for our listeners, anything you've been consuming that you think people would be interested in, now is the time to recommend these things. Who wants to start us off with a good rec?
Oh, why don't you kick it off, Emile, since you're going off of your health mode?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, dude.
What has
I've been
been
running.
your audio partner?
Yeah,
amidst all
so
this?
I've been running a lot. Like almost every other day, I will be running outside, like for kilometers and kilometers. And one of the best purchases I've ever purchased this year is something called SHOKZ Open Run, which was actually introduced to me by Contemplate over there in the chat.
Hello.
They are these
Shout out.
open ear headphones that have been perfect for me and my running. Specifically because they're open ear, I can hear the outside world. And as far as audio
Oh,
quality
no.
is concerned, it's not like it's
Not
not
the
for
outside
audiophiles,
world.
right? But it's been really interesting, specifically because it stimulates the small bones in your ear
Snake.
so that you can
Titillating.
hear music or whatever you want to listen to, a podcast, something like that, while your ears are still open. So with that codec functionality, it it feels like it's from the future. It's just this little thing that hangs out near your ear and you can hear
Ew.
the music. Like it's super cool, it's super comfy. The brand I like is SHOKZ. So if you guys want the codec Metal Gear experience in your ears, maybe try out SHOKZ Open Run.
Dude, it's
I'm gonna wreck
freaky cool. I tried it
Yeah,
and
right?
it works. It's
You
magic.
tried it?
Yeah.
Shit.
It's freaky at the start, but it actually works.
Like it feels like it tickles a little, right?
Kojima predicted the future again.
Titillating.
Dude, it stimulates the small bones of your ear. No one else can hear it.
Can you
And it's
dial
waterproof,
different
right?
frequencies and then suddenly mailing?
Look at the back of the box. It's Codec Merrill.
Mailing will save my run. Yeah. Actually, Contemplate in the chat says buy the one with USB-C though.
Oh,
That's a good
Okay.
recommend because the one I bought does not have USB-C. It's
Oh,
like the
no.
special proprietary charger, so it makes
Boo.
it a bit of a hassle. Buy the one with not the proprietary charger.
Is this
Right.
available locally? Or
Yes,
do
yes,
you
It's
have
on the
yes,
to-
yes.
Shoppies too.
okay.
Try checking out like the Shoppies. Try checking out the digital walkers. They carry these.
We'll
The way-
leave a link on the podcast description.
Mm.
There are fake
All right.
ones out there too, by the way, so watch out for those.
Watch out for those. Go for
Oh.
the
Oh, it's in
shocks. Not
Digital
sponsored,
Walker
but I love you,
Marketplace. Like,
shocks.
Apparently, there's two
Shacks.
types of fakes. One that actually does the small bone thing,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
and others that just have a tiny speaker hole to
Tangina.
It's just a tiny speaker beside your ear.
it's a mini
Fuckers.
boombox.
so watch out.
God
Wa-
damn it.
Watch out
Amazing.
for that.
The
Yeah, but
Asshole.
branded ones.
I'm gonna wreck it. I'm gonna
Oh,
wreck it. Shocks open run.
hello. Also,
Like,
look forward to the Shacks.
The
I'll
shacks
give
on
him
the goal.
ideas. It's gonna be a
Never
tiny,
makes
tiny,
those.
It's so
a
small.
tiny earbud. Yeah,
It
so
makes
He
you
makes
feel
the
small.
ones
like
with
you're
the fake tiny holes.
Yeah, yeah.
Siya kanya yun. That was his product. The
The
Shacks.
shacks. The shacks. The
Shack-
shacks
Small,
open
dude.
bowl.
Shack
It's like
big.
the size of your
Hole tiny.
pinky's nail. Your pinky's nail. Shaq's pinky's nail.
Mm-hmm.
I could go next
Go
for
for
the
it.
recommend. Like I said, I found the third place, and it's Arkham Hobby Lounge. And recently they've moved and went to a different venue, but it's still in the south. It's near. If everyone if anyone wants to check out Arkham Hobby Lounge, sometime it is near Vista Mall in the building called Tia Maria Building in Philam Life Village, Pamplona dos Las Piñas. Check that out. And then for my actual recommend, I'm gonna recommend a game called Mechabellum. So I've also shared this to the boys before.
Marketer.
Uh, so it is this is available on Steam, and um how I could describe this is it is like what's that, team fight tactics, but it's 1v1.
Mm-mm-mm.
So it is an auto battler, and you actually build like an army, and then you get to fight your opponent via rounds. So each round you get to like chip him out a little on like your army's health, and then until you win the game or it settles on the final round. So
I
it's
really,
interesting.
I
Yep.
really love how when you mentioned Mechabellum, Raffy's screen on our stream just showed images of Sarah Bellum from like Powerpuff Girls.
Oh shit.
MB.
With the wrong mayor sound effect.
Yeah. So, but yeah,
That's
this
cool.
game is interesting because it is an auto battler. It's something that is mostly reserved for like single player games, or I guess team games like Team Fight Tactics. But this one pits you against just one opponent,
Mhm.
and
Ah.
it's a good format because even though it's an auto battler. Even though it's an auto battler, you get to still there's still strategies involved. Like you get to decide um what units to use, what enhancements or upgrades to give them, and then you just have to build an army that would you that would crush the other opposing army. So it kind of plays like a Warhammer game, I think,
Cool.
Does it? Oh.
because it's just list building, and then you get to just check out like it's list building, it's deployment, and then you just watch them um fight via auto battler. Um I think Wanted mentioned in the chat that this could be scaled to 2v2 and 4v4 and so on. Oh, that's
Oh,
cool
yo, that's
if
sick.
that's the case. But yeah, I think when I saw one of the streamers do this, like I think Bricky streamed this early this morning.
Oh.
What he did was just 1v1, and it's interesting because yeah, it does combine deployment tactics and just checking out units and buying units and upgrades. And I guess if this is something, I mean, if there's one thing to sell a Raffy into this,
Uh-oh.
there's a worm that you can buy. It's basically Dune. You can be
Oh.
Elise,
Oh
you can be
shit.
Lisa Algaib, and then
Yep.
like there's this one round where Bricky actually
Ah.
like summoned 5 worms, and then they just burrow
Bagay.
in the round, and then they just like dismantle the opposing group. So it's
Borrowing.
interesting.
Okay.
So far it is on discount. Offer ends on October 4th. It is currently 339 pesos. So it's
Very
like
nice.
Oh,
two two burgers. That's good.
The burger scale.
Yeah, the
Burger
burger scale.
scale,
It's real.
yeah.
dude. Dude, burgers are
Yep.
so expensive now, though.
Yeah,
Fuck, dude.
dude.
I mean, it depends on the burger though.
In Burger King, that's just one burger.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it. Mechabellum gonna wreck it.
Looks
Nice
nice.
rack. Nice rack.
Yep.
All right.
What about you, Raffo?
Oh,
Migoy?
I'm just gonna recommend Vince McMahon, the Mr. McMahon
Don't.
documentary. Watch it.
Okay, I thought you were gonna
Watch it.
recommend the man.
No, no, no. I don't recommend him at all. I don't
I-
endorse, recommend, nor approve of any of Vince McMahon activities. But watch the
I really-
documentary.
I really like how on stream the video playing right now is the story of Durag Vince. Fucking what the
the
fuck?
the biggest menace and heel that the WWE has ever faced was Durag Vince. Yes, indeed. Here we go. He was champion. Holy shit.
Was he?
Yep.
Yep,
Fuck.
did.
Wow. World heavyweight champion Durag Vince McMahon. Incredible.
What a menace.
Please if you've ever wanted like a recap laundry list type thing of that dude and all his dirt baggery, it's over there. And then you can always just go deeper on the internet yourself and watch like Dark Side of the Ring for more harder hitting. Because I feel like the documentary itself doesn't really punch really hard. It's more of like, oh, this is all he's done, all the shitty things he's done, ba 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 ba. But they never really delve into it. Dark Side of the Ring is that type of documentary that
I have
digs deep
a
into it. Yeah.
I have a question. Like, did they ever use AI on the show?
AI?
Yeah, on the interviews. Because I like the reason I asked this is because
Did-
if you watch the other Netflix documentary about who's that guy who is creating boy bands?
what?
What's
What?
that? Yeah,
I don't
yeah, yeah. You know this, Rappy. Like you,
Simon
I think
Cowell?
no, like Lou Pearlman or something.
Lou Ferrigno. Lou
No, no.
Pearlman.
Is Lou Pearlman the blue Hellboy?
Wait,
Yeah.
I forgot.
Sounds like a Hellboy actor.
Wait, let me check.
No, no. That,
Oh man,
Uh,
is it Dirty Pop?
it's Lou Pearlman confirms contemplate in the chat. Yeah, you're right though. Okay, there
Yeah.
we go.
Okay, there is it's Dirty Pop in Netflix because
Okay.
there are segments on the show where he was being interviewed or he was giving a monologue and it's straight up AI and they even like
Wow.
mentioned that it is AI.
Wow.
So I don't know if does the McMahon show documentary have that type of like
So far.
disclaimer?
So far, there's no AI just yet. Like they actually
Oh.
interview Vince. I think that's one of
As an actual interview
the main
footage.
value of this. Yes, I think the main value of this is it's coming straight from the wrestler's mouth. Like from there's no one like editorializing it. It's coming
Oh,
from
okay.
them. Like the reporters at the time, Vince McMahon, actual son-in-law, Hunter Hearst Helmsley,
Damn.
actual Stone Cold Steve Austin, actual The Rock. Like like it's coming straight from them, and they're saying, "Yeah, that stuff was weird." So yun, Mr. McMahon, on Netflix, is out right now, 6 episodes.
Gotta watch it.
Gonna wreck it. The documentary, not the man.
Not the man.
Yep.
Okay.
Dude, does this imply that Durag McMahon is actually AI?
What?
Nah, it's a real guy. It's a real man.
He has real crimes.
Mm-mm.
It's like uh
Hey, Mid Journey, generate image Durag on Vince McMahon. Comes up. Aye.
Oh,
he's
man.
like date Mike Migoy but worse.
Jesus.
Which
Aye,
brings
that was me.
us to Mijoy.
I'm gonna wreck it.
I am the last one. I am
Mhm.
the one. The Transformers one. Joke.
What would you
Uh,
wreck?
I'm gonna recommend something very nerdy but near and dear to my heart, and that is breakdowns of music from the Mega Man Network Battle Series.
Hey.
Oh, I saw this a while ago. It's
So
super cool.
Yeah.
I came across this YouTube channel called Grammar's Video Corner. I will link it in the description. And what he does is he takes all the music from currently, I think it's Battle Network 4.5, 5, and 6, and breaks all of them into each individual music layers because
Oh.
they're all like 8-bit soundy, right? And there's a ton of layers slash instruments playing
Got you.
in ways that are very hard to recreate with real instruments,
Mm.
especially how wild they become. And it like the Battle Network music is some of my favorite out there, and this is something I've been looking for at least a year, because music theorists have broken down the songs and what makes them great, but this is just the actual music itself. And I don't know if you like it, but I recommend a lot from this. And
No, I like it. I like it a lot.
I'll recommend one particular song, which is the boss theme of Battle Network 6, called Surge for Power, which also has a bunch of like music theory breakdowns out there if you want to get into that. And it's that song played in that one animated meme when they announced the Battle Network collection, which is also titled Mega Man Bullying Network, if you want to find that.
Okay.
So yeah, Grammar's Video Corner. He has very little views, but all the comments are extremely genuine, and I am in some of those. I've been listening to it for like the past week, a lot of different songs. So yeah, that's me. Mega Man's. Bam.
Cool.
I didn't hear it. Oh damn.
Man, that's
Alright.
4 recs in a row.
Hey.
That usually
Yeah.
means we done a podcast, boys.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Wow.
We done it.
We done it.
We did it.
Is it time
Nothing
to go back
happened.
to the cryo
Nothing
chamber?
happened.
Nothing happened.
That's a whole lot of nothing that has happened.
Yeah.
3 hours of nothing.
3 hours of nothing. Nothing happened, boys.
Well,
Nothing and 3 sandwiches. Let's go.
Yeah, dude, is that our new
Oh, there it is.
catchphrase? Nothing happened.
Nothing in 3
Nothing
sandwich.
happened.
Nothing happened and 3 sandwiches.
What if we change it to burgers for the burger scale?
Burgers? The burgers?
Burgers. See you next year, guys. Says contemplate the
1 more year.
One more year.
God, who's that content creator who's like that?
100
See you next year, the next video.
114 episodes in a movie.
Yep.
Anyway,
Oh, it feels good. It feels good
Yeah.
to talk to you boys about the
Feels good.
things we love, the
Mhm.
things we wreck, the
Mhm.
the trades we good.
Yeah, that was some
Yeah.
good trades. Big damage. Big,
That
big
was some good
damage.
trades.
I haven't
That
been
was some
punched in a
good
story in a while. Damn.
Yeah,
It's a
dude.
lot.
Punch
A lot of
Holy
punches.
shit.
Stories.
So many dick punches. Let's go.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
dude.
That,
I
that
lived
punch
on
gave me
the-
malaria.
At least it ain't crabs.
So I love this in the show program meal. But of course, if you want to check out past episodes of Good Trades, you can always check us at our recently updated. No, not recently updated, but it is on our Spotify channel. You can check us on Spotify. You can check us on YouTube. Of course, Twitch. So I guess starting this week,
Mhm.
we will be streaming podcast recordings every Friday. We will try. I mean, not every Friday. Sorry,
Every other.
Every other
every
Friday.
other Friday. Yeah. So we will do every other Friday. That's gonna be our schedule for future episodes. So do check us out every other Friday, every fortnight Friday here
Mhm.
on twitch.tv/Good Trades Brigade.
We're a Fortnite podcast now.
Hey.
Remember to
Always.
say it for the algorithm.
Always
We're a
has been.
Fortnite podcast.
You gotta get them Fortnite kids on here.
I think that's gonna be the
Did we
the
start off as
content.
a Fortnite podcast?
We did start
Oh,
off as a
there we go. We're
Fortnite
back.
podcast.
Let's go.
We gotta keep the bit though. Like
Mhm.
this channel will be exclusively be just podcast
Fortnite.
episode recordings and Fortnite streams.
Yeah,
Bro, did,
just
oh,
Fortnite.
man.
That's gonna be it. It's gonna be your
Okay.
niche.
Okay. I'm down with
Mhm.
that
Come on,
commitment.
kids.
I'm
I
actually
love
down.
I love that type of commitment. I'm into that. Okay, we only stream Fortnite on here, bro.
Dude, Fortnite
We
and
gotta
the
play the
podcast.
new Doctor Doom shit on
Oh,
Fortnite. It's
Oh
so
dude, it's
good.
so
yeah.
cool though.
I have yet
I
to
think
assemble the War Machine armor.
Dude, it's so
it's
good.
it's
So good.
I started like a few weeks in the start of the battle pass and then I dropped off because fucking Space Marine took
Dude,
over my
do
life.
not worry. As Fortnite does, you can catch up on the battle pass
Hell
real
yeah.
fast.
we usually just play at the last week of the the
Yeah,
battle.
pretty much.
Okay,
See
okay.
guys, we know stuff about Fortnite. We're a Fortnite
Yeah, we're
podcast.
hip.
Yeah.
Yeah, for that gamers.
Yeah.
love Fortnite.
IJBOL.
That's it.
Yeah,
He's
floss
doing
it,
it. He's doing
Raffy.
it, chat. He's
He's
flossing.
doing it.
The prophecy has been
I'm just doing
fulfilled.
a crossover.
Doing
just
fucking
basketball.
Milo. It's just Milo shit.
Yeah, figure four.
Milo biscuit.
Our
Amazing.
very own Sakuragi.
Is that the new dance?
Chat, if you can clip this chat, you can add the basketball post.
Yep.
That's
Some
gonna be our
basketball motion
follow
graphics.
notification.
Those are our years.
What a sad way to end the podcast. Instead of keep it going.
Welcome
Those
to-
are our years.
Stay hard.
Welcome to episode 115. How was your years, boys?
That's what's gonna happen.
All right, keep it going, guys.
Here we go.
Keep it going.
Hey, Undertaker's in that Mr. McMahon documentary. God damn, he's
Yeah.
still
He hates
keeping it.
video games, dude. Why does he hate video games?
What?
He's weird, dude.
Does he specifically hate video
I got-
games?
Mark is
Mm,
weird.
yeah, Mark Calloway is a fucking weird. I feel Undertaker cool. Mark Calloway is not it.
I'll
Yeah.
never meet your heroes.
Hates video games and wore in one documentary he wore like a Blue Lives Matter hat. Like, this
He
is
plays
weird.
blue.
Yeah.
He must be a
He
deadlock
plays
player.
blue.